Everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host is here. Superman is in the house. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Well, we're going to get into the markets today, of course, as we do every day, and we're going to be covering the big weekly updates from the digital asset treasuries. So that is Michael Saylor's strategy, Cole's Strive, and Tom Lee's Bitmine immersion. So look forward to that today. The other thing we're going to be covering is obviously the market majors in crypto, the stock market, for Monday's results, as well as a little bit of a discussion about the Strait of Hormuz and the ICC, for goodness sake. And also we're going to get into Pulsechain markets. Pulsechain testing the bottom again, a double tap in the house for the low price. And of course, we're going to get into the big roadmap update for LibertySwap, what is hot and what's missing. And we're going to talk about that for LibertySwap. Also, we got the Monster Thread weekly hottest news is out. I know MVS Crypto posted that last night. So edition number 62, we're going to go through the hottest news on Pulsechain over the last week. So, the price might be trying to find the bottom, but the people in the community are still building and still active, and it's exciting times. So we're going to get into all that today as well. So pretty cool. Now, if you have watching on YouTube, don't forget to smash the subscribe button. We are streaming on 3 YouTube channels, The Crypto Night Show, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain X. So smash the subscribe, and if you're watching on X platform live, don't forget to smash the follow button and also repost. That's very important. Get it out into the network. As you guys know, the largest Pulsechain influencer channel doing daily videos, and of course, every single day here. So spread the word. Let's get more and more people coming into the Pulsechain community. And of course, the wonderful opportunity at the moment is that they can buy at the bottom of the market. And it's exciting. We may only have a couple of months left in the bottom of the cycle for the 4-year cycle. So what a great time to entry in DCA. We know that the big whales are doing that. So exciting times. All right. Don't forget to smash that repost button. Let's get into it, folks. We're going to talk about all this stuff, but we're going to start with the stock market first. We're going to do things just a little bit different today, but we're going to get into the stock market here. So let's go to gold, see how we got on. Well, we got US stock futures fall amid more Iran strikes. So we got the futures is down just a little bit at the moment, 0.13%, 9 points to 7,506 on the US 500. We got the actual results though, so that's the forward look. So we'll see what happens over the next day and how the Tuesday market opens up. But the actual results for Monday, we got the Dow Jones down 0.25%, 138 points to 52,500. So there we go. So just off the highs, of course, all these numbers. The S&P 500 down 0.8%, 60 points to 75.15. We got the Nasdaq down 1.5%, 408 points to 25,875. So those are the 3 main indices there in the US. We have the US dollar sitting at 101, just down slightly, and we have the volatile index, kind of an indicator of risk on, risk off. That is up 14%, 2 points to 17. So obviously a bit of a rise there, and of course we have increased. We got a new round of battle attacks there for Strait of Hormuz, but this time it's a little different, right? So this time it's looks like it's almost trying to clamp down the Strait of Hormuz so that the US gets a pretty firm control of it, and so that's kind of looks like what they're doing. So typically that would probably mean pounding the key positions around the Strait of Hormuz, including some of the islands, to take a more firm control of that area. So we're watching that as well. We know that in the weekend there was, I think over 300 hits in that area. So this is a major step up here. And any deal that was going to be done has been thrown to the wayside as the Iranians decided to do some attacks on the eve of that being sort of completed. So we're back where we were, which is what we expect here. I'm actually, it's a tough one, right? Because in crypto, we want to obviously quiet geopolitics so that we can have, markets can continue to move on their natural journey. But we got Iranian with the nuclear activities. You want to calm that down as well as the oil, right? So there's the nuke story and the oil story. And so you've got to calm those down. So I think it's probably better. I would have rather they have done this back up months rather than try to get it in negotiations and probably step up and have done a longer bombing campaign. But it looks like they're back up, and of course they're fully stocked again now, right? So they've been ramping up production of all these missiles and drones and everything else that they got, and then now I've got a bigger navy in position, much bigger navy in position for this battle. So we'll be looking for that. And we also see in Iran that we've got some internal forces are starting now to emerge. So we've got some Iranian internal forces as well in terms of resistance. And we've also got the Kurds, and we've also got activity in Iraq, arresting a lot of Iranian, trade, sort of black market trade. So we have got some emergent things happening in Iran from inside. Now, you guys know rule number one: you'd never want to have a battle on two fronts, but that's what IRGC is facing the adjacent countries in the Middle East, as well as the United States and Israel. And internally, they're facing, maybe 85 to 90% of their own people would support a resistance movement to some degree. So, because the Iranian regime just this year alone has probably executed something like 55,000 of their own people just this year alone who have protested, right? So I think that's going to be pretty interesting where they're all heads at the moment. Of course, the US can provide a lot of air cover for a resistance movement to internally take over. So it won't be necessarily the Americans doing regime directly, but the resistance movement's doing it. So we'll be watching that emergent trend to see how that goes, because obviously it's not there's a lot of IRGC soldiers. If 10% of the country is supporting the regime, that's like 9 million people. They're holding key positions. They got all of the army military bases. The army is really the key bit holding up the regime. And so that's going to be pretty important. We also see the US taking out a few bridges. The bridges typically possibly supply chains and from China and things like that. So we've got a few things been happening in that space as well. All right, so that's kind of on the old oil front. Let's have a look at where oil is at. Well, we've got West Texas is up 1.6%, $1.25 to $79.39. If we have a little look at the last year, we've obviously risen back up there. We had tapped last year's prices, but we were back up again there. A bit of risk premium coming back in to the markets there. So probably about almost, let's say $10 of risk premium come back in the market there for the Strait of Hormuz conflict. Brent oil up 1.25%, $1 at $84.26, and you can see obviously compared to last year we've risen back up there, and we've got a premium there of about $14 come back in the market. So gold at the moment is still holding around 4,000, pretty key on that, and this is a really pivotal line for gold. I mean, if it breaks from here, down it goes, maybe down to 3,700, something like that. Silver, likewise, is breaking down. So it's finally got down 57, and the next target would be 53.50 on silver. And then gold at the moment, $6.30. As you said, I said gold would be probably be a very strong performer moving forward because it's used in obviously a lot of the digital, data centers and new energy happening. So if you're not aware, there's quite a bit of advancement happening in micronuclear in the United States, and there's been a few breakthroughs in that at the moment. So to keep a lookout for that. There's also been some quantum computing breakthroughs also in Canada and other places. So there's quite a few things happening, and copper's required in just about everything there. So copper's looking to be a real star. So it might be something something that people are speculating on. And you can see the uptrend over the last year is pretty strong, right? All right, so that is some of the key stuff. Now, you guys know we've also got Q2 earnings coming up, guys, and the June CPI report. So the CPI being one of the two inflation measures that the Federal Reserve's traditionally used. It's pretty much a large basket of goods that they track. It is a kind of a lagged indicator, and so we may see changes in the use of those measures moving forward from the new GM. Investors are waiting upon a swathe of major clues on Tuesday with reports from several Wall Street banks sent to kick off the second quarter. So that's tomorrow's data. So we'll be able to talk about that tomorrow. So we're going to get all these banking results, and I think we're going to get a lot of good surprises, I think, in a lot of this the second season. Remember, the first season was really good. I think Tom Lee talked about being but just the first quarter alone results were enough to get us to 8,000 on the S&P 500. I remember we're currently down from that at what do we say? We're currently at 7,500, so another 500 points. So pretty nice upside there. So we're looking forward to that. So that could be a really good counter move towards versus what's happening in Strait of Hormuz. So it's probably good timing for us. We also got CPI data also coming out, so that'd be pretty interesting as well. Obviously, we've had a bit of a pullback for the oil, so we're going to wait for that to flow through. Probably not June, so that will probably still be relatively elevated. But maybe we come down a little bit in July, September, maybe August data. We keep a lookout for that. Fed Governor Chair Waller said earlier in the day that the central bank may need to raise interest rates soon if inflation continues well above 2%. So obviously, some of these guys, I think the Fed minutes had 9 people, I think it was, talking about maybe up to 2 interest rate cuts for the end of the year. Certainly one is on the cards. But as I say, it depends on the Strait of Hormuz and the oil elevated. I think we might only have a 2.5 week sort of a moving window for that inflation, and then disappears off the inflation, and it comes down. Now, these are all lagged numbers on CPI and CPE data, and so I suggest that maybe wash in the fourth quarter, heading maybe just before the elections, we'll head into possibly trying to change the indicators to either a trim inflation data like Chicago, or a real-time data like Trueflation, which is only around 1.6%. So you quickly get under your 2%, and then you don't need to actually raise rates at all. You should be probably relying on them, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens, whether we get a sudden reversal from a slightly hawkish move to a dovish move. So in other words, lower interest rates. We'll be watching out for that. Now, we've still got some clever games going on with the Fed and the balance sheet. And basically expanding the monetary supply, and of course we've got M2 monetary supply at record highs. So and that's good for asset values, right? Just pumping those up. All right, so that's kind of where we are with those. So we're looking forward to the inflation data on Tuesday, as well as the first beginning of the company's returns. So earnings season. So it's probably good timing given the Strait of Hormuz conflict at the moment. But that said, we're still holding up fairly well with this, a step up in conflict there. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now. Let's get into we're going to get into crypto. But before we do that, let me just pull up a few things as well. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to get in the comments and to say hello. That'd be really cool to do that. So let me just pull up a few things here. Let's see. I'm going to get that one first. All right, let's scroll back down here a little bit. There's been a lot more updates than I thought there would be. Right, so I've got 2 more things to pull up here. And we'll get on. I didn't have these preset, so just the way it goes. Bam, and one more. I'm going to go into that. I just realized I've got this in the wrong position there. Let's go to that then. And we got, let's see here. I think we're going to go that one. And they don't actually have it up there at the moment. That's crazy. Let's try another version of this. Bam. Let's see if they've got it. They've got it up there. All right, they don't have it either. Oh, that's crazy. All right, we'll get there. Let me try one more. Bam. Let's see if they've got it. No, I don't know where these guys. None of these guys have got it. That's crazy, isn't it? Let's try one more. We have to try someone new. All right, so let's see. I think that's good enough, so we're going to use that one. Found it. So that's what I want. All right, so don't forget to get in the comments there as well and say hello. We're going to get into the crypto majors now and break down the weekly updates for the digital asset treasuries, as well as deep dive into a lot of the charts as well. So it's going to be quite a decent little overview of where Bitcoin and Ethereum are at. Let's get into it. All right, so we got the total market cap of crypto at 2.239 trillion, down 1.2% based on CoinGecko's markets. We've got Bitcoin at the moment sitting at 62,520 on average over the different exchanges, down 2.4% today, so pretty heavy hit there. and 2.6% for the week. So most of that today. Ethereum there is down 2.3% and 1.1% for the week, so not as bad at 1788. And what we're seeing is that the ETH to Bitcoin ratio is been strengthening. So that's a trend we want to see if you're bullish about Ethereum. And of course, all these mega themes that we talk about all the time. We got BNB at number 4, down 1.5%, down 3% for the week, $570, let's say. XRP at number 6, down 2.2%, 7% for the week, down at $1.07. And we've got we've got a couple of 3 major players playing for being banks as well. So we've got a bit of a bank takeover there as well. Solana there down 2.7% for the day, 8.5% for the week, at $75.38. Tron at number 8, down 2.2%, 1.7% for the week at 32.4 cents. And then we've got Figure Helic there at number, let's just jump to Whitebit. Number 10 there, down 2.4%, 4.8% for the week at $54.74. And then finally, we're going to go through 11 and 12. We've got Hyperliquid down 6.1%, 11.7% for the week. Pretty big hit there. Obviously, it's a leverage play as well. $63.54. And then Dogecoin down 1.5%, 5.8% for the week at 7.2 cents. So those are the top 12 there. And that's almost all the ones over 10 billion as well. In fact, it is all the ones excluding stablecoins over $10 billion. So there are 12 of them. All right, so top 12, I should say. So let's look at top 100. We've got Prominence Hatch up 17% for the day at number 1. Baldex up 11.3%. Polymatic 2.1%. Near Protocol 1.7%. And Jupiter 1.7%. So those are top 5 at the moment. So a bit of a mixed bag there. We've got the last week, we got Dixie, which has performed really well, down 14% today, but up 50% for the week still. Providence Blockchain up 27%, ADI up 19%, Uniswap up 30%, and Arbitrum there up 12.8% right now. So that is the overall markets. Obviously, there's been a lot of excitement about Robinhood, and they've been doing really fantastic volumes, also contributing to Layer 1 ETH burn, and also Robinhood burn ETH. So what's about 300-400 ETH or something being burned. So it's doing pretty well there. We've got top gainers over the top 1,000. We've got IOTA up 5,400%. I'm not sure what's going on there, but we've got Pythia up 54% and Allura up 25% as well. So those are all doing pretty amazing. Let's go have a look at this IOTA one. It's ranked at number 612. So I don't know. That's pretty crazy numbers. Look at that. Not sure what's going on there with that. Artificial AI, decentralized subnetwork of Bit10 network. So there we are. That's crushing it right now. All right. So that is the overall market view. Let's jump into Bitcoin itself. We've got the weekly candles here. So the weekly there is a proxy for a rolling 4-year cycle, let's say. So we've got the weekly candles here. And we what are we up to? On the 200 moving average, which is the proxy for the 4-year cycle, it is at 86,458 on the old Bitcoin. We've got the 50 at, which is, sorry, let me just reverse that with the orange one here is the 200 moving average. We're sitting right, where are we? Just below it. We are 60. So we've got that price, 200 moving average is at $63,083. And we're at 62,460. So we're about $550 below that right now, but teetering there. And as you can see, we're seldom below it. So pretty good zone for accumulating, one would argue. We're expecting a more shallow pullback. If we do have a pullback, maybe to 50K. There obviously people have different numbers. There's a couple of lower numbers. But if we do get a 60% pullback, that's down to 50. That'd be a 4th wave down, and presumably that would be the end because we're coming up to October, which should be the end of the classic 4-year cycle there. So yeah, we'll see how we go here. On the stochastic, if you use a stochastic RSI on the monthly, on the weekly, sorry, it should suggest that we're pretty much through that now. So there's kind of a couple of different views of where the bottom is will be at. But that's kind of where we are right now. The 50 weekly moving average is at 87,500 up here. So we've got quite a bit of work to do here. So have we got one more waterfall to go? And what catalyst would that be? Obviously, we always get market manipulations, or are we really about to just slowly grind from here to the upside? We obviously, before we had the bull run in 25, we obviously were sitting in this zone quite a long time, all the way from March 24 all the way to October 24. So we've been in this zone before, so that's some more reasons why maybe we could, instead of having that last fourth wave bear market to October, we can start climbing here. But of course, we've got a lot of headwinds at the moment with the Strait of Hormuz and geopolitics and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see where that lands right now. The other thing, of course, we saw today was the Secretary of State against the ICC, so the International Court. The International Court is compromised, right? So it's run by globalists and jihadis, pretty much, and so they're trying to attack the U.S. Constitution as well. So it's good to see that from the Secretary of State, and they will bring all their powers to bear on that, which I'm really excited about, because the ICC really lost the plot there, run by globalist progressives and jihadis. So screw them, right? Screw them. We want freedom, and we don't want them to put their fascism on top of the rest of us. So it's good to see. That's as a side note. So here we go on the old Bitcoin. Let's move on from here. Obviously, we've had a range today. Let's quickly go to the daily. Just quickly, and we'll have a quick look at the daily. We're below the daily moving average, the 50 moving average, 64,280. We're so below that right now. So yeah, that's where we are. So really just in this sort of zone that's been around here since the third wave down from June. So we'll just have to, we need some positive things. Now, what's positive moving forward? Well, we've got the Clarity Act moving through. That's obviously a major, that's the sort of the final completion of regulatory management there in the United States. If they don't take it, of course, it opens them up to foreign powers like China and others taking over if they want to. And of course, the US there has got that going through the Senate. So I don't think there's any text being presented yet. In other words, a merging of the Clarity Act from the Banking and the Agriculture Committee, as well as pulling in Elizabeth Warren's ethics. So that's all. I think that's all getting pretty close, though. And hopefully, I think it's this week that they are going to be having the first big meeting about that. Now, there's only it has to be done by the 7th of August if we're going to get it done in this year's timeline, because September, all the politicians start campaigning. October, there's a recess, so there's no one there, and then November is the midterms. So you see, it's a very short window. We've got, which I think is about 24 days from here, but only a few of those days are open for the Clarity Act to go through. So you can kind of see tension rises. And so, yeah, we'll be watching for that, hopefully to hit the floor. And President Trump, I think, came out today with a message about supporting getting the Clarity Act through. And of course, on that note, they've got to also fill potentially 2 positions in the Senate to get voting as well. So they had a gap of about 7 senators that they needed from the Democrats. They probably had a reasonable chance, I would say, of getting those numbers. They certainly had 2 from the Senate that seemed supportive, so they probably needed 5 to get over the line. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens there. But of course, they have had some shocking news, of course, overnight with Lindsey Graham dying, and it was pretty sort of weird circumstances. He was 78, but certainly I think the FBI is investigating that too. But rest in peace, Senator Graham. Now, politically, he was a bit of a mixed bag, but he was always hardworking and believed in what he thought. And he was well liked, generally speaking, as well. He was also looking to push through, the SAVE Act around voting, and also now Trump's, of course, pushing through for the Clarity Act to be done, which would be fantastic if it does. And there's potentially, trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline and waiting to come in the years ahead from that. So that's kind of overview. So that could be, at the moment it's 50-50, but it could be a huge tailwind in the markets moving forward. So we're looking out for that, as well as several other crypto acts and regulations potentially being made by the SEC, CFTC, as well as the White House, potentially, the US government investing in crypto. So we've got all those things going, but the Clarity Act is really the big one to get off the mark there. Now, I'm pretty sure in July here, we were expecting the regulations for the Genius Act as well from last year. That was one of the catalysts, as you guys know, for last year. We saw the digital asset treasuries come in for Bitcoin, for ETH, I should say. So there's another we're expecting the regulations from the regulators to come out as well. So I will try and do a follow-up on that, but that was expected in July. That has to be fully enacted around stablecoins and by January next year. And of course, we know Secretary Scott Bessent was talking about $3.2 trillion of stablecoins. I think we're up to what, 350, something like that. So 10x that numbers by 2030, and of course that will slush around. I'm pretty cool. We're looking forward to that multiplier effect and all that good stuff. All right, so that is where we are right now, 62,500 on the old Bitcoin, but I think it's kind of holding up even with the Strait of Hormuz, and we got this positive news potentially tomorrow with the earnings season, and maybe the CPI might come in a bit more friendly. We'll see. If it's negative, of course, that's a headwind. So it would be negative for crypto. So that CPI data tomorrow is very important. So hold on to your hat. Hold on to your hat here. All right, so that is where we are right now. Let's jump into the digital asset treasuries and see where they're at. Obviously, they're a key potential driver of value, taking Bitcoin off the market and also pushing the price up. Well, at the moment, of course, they've been struggling, haven't they, the last almost 2 months now, isn't it? So we've got Strategy, the biggest digital asset treasury, has increased its USD reserve. This came out overnight, right? Before the markets opened on Monday. Strategy has increased its USD reserve by 450 million, so they're still increasing that. Now remember, they have two obligations. They have their convertible debt, and number two, they have the dividends for the preferred stock. So those are the commitments. And they had, 2 months ago, paid down one of their 2029 convertible debts at a discount of 10 cents. So it was a good long-term discount, but that helped trigger the markets, saying, you've only down, I think they were down to like $700 million. You really got a very short window for interest cover. And so that was a big problem, right? And so they've had to, redo their risk management, come out with a new framework to address all that. And it looks like they're now holding $3 billion in their USD reserves. Now they will earn money on that, right? So they will earn, cash on that, interest on that in the bank. So that's a little bit, I don't know, 1-2%, maybe something like that. So that's kind of cool, but that is just strengthening their position on the strategy. So let's go have a look at Michael Saylor's strategy at the sites and see what the stats are looking like now for that. So let's have a look here. The MNAV is 102. That's interesting. Now let's hear. We got no. So okay. So BTC years of dividend coverage 30 years. US months of dividend coverage 20, which is pretty good. You guys know I actually said all and up that they could go to they should go to 3 years. I know that's a long time, but what's that divided by 12? So they're currently at 1.7 years, which I think's decent. I think that's decent, but if you've got if you've got a potential return of Bitcoin of, let's say, 30%, and you're paying out 12%, then if you want to be really comfortable with that volatility, now this number this 1 year, 20 months value, 1.7 years is decent. I mean, it's decent, but if you've got a 4-year cycle and you really want to hedge yourself, then maybe having 3 years would be in the mark there. So that's going to be pretty interesting moving forward. But this is actually prudent. They're at a prudent level now. So the market should cool down. The market should calm down. Now, obviously, they're a leveraged play. So, if obviously Bitcoin was down for a long time, think about it. If it's down for a long time, that's all time value of money. So that eats away at the dividend pool, right, all the time. So that if they're going to maintain a certain minimum interest coverage, they've got to sell Bitcoin down to do that, right? Without adding more loans to the loans to pay the dividends, kind of thing, which is you don't really want to do because you got getting that negative flywheel going. So there's down and sideways are both against the digital asset treasuries. Now up in terms of Bitcoin price is really good, and so obviously that's a positive flywheel. So I think they're reset. And look, the Bitcoin market's way bigger than Strategy, but obviously getting Strategy in there, raising a couple $1 billion from preferred stocks and buying Bitcoin is super bullish long term, and you never see that supply again. So we're watching that. And at the moment, of course, we've seen whales come in and buy and hold up the market, as they typically have done in the last 2 cycles. as the Bitcoin price seems to be rounding its 4-year end, right? And we may only have a few months left of that. So that's kind of the narrative there. So yeah, not too bad. We've still got a 1.02 narrative, MNAV. We've still got 20 months coverage. So this is, going to find it really hard for this to be really affected there. Now, there's still the prices under the $100. We do have a lot of options, as I talked about yesterday, options for July to play out. That may be a hurdle for the strategy's preferred stock to return back to $100 this month. But certainly maybe next month it might have a better chance of getting back to the $100 once these options play out. It's not, spot can always go up and help close that gap, but we would need quite a bit of a rally there in the old Bitcoin from where we are now. So there we go. And you can see Bitcoin per share has gone down. It was up at 223. It's now 207. So, selling that Bitcoin down has certainly reduced the Bitcoin per share as well. The other thing is that now I'm not sure what shares they've raised as well. I haven't checked that. So they may have raised shares too at the market to do that. So I'll have to go confirm that. But that is down to 207. Now, that means that if you've got a short term down, but if you get back to $100 and start issuing more stocks, you can start buying more Bitcoin and get this rate back up, as long as you're not selling common stock MSTR. So if you're not selling equity to raise cash, then you can get this up through the debt market and preferred stocks. So we'll be watching that number, pretty key number there in terms of shareholder value, right? All right, so that being said, this has got an MNAV of 1.02. Anything over 1 is typically, you can go raise some money and with common stock, but they've been trying to do it through the debt markets and preferred stocks. What else can we say? I think that's pretty much it. Let's move on. So that is Michael Saylor. So no purchase buys there, just cash raises. I'm not sure if anyone's got any comments underneath there. Yeah, Pulsechain. I just put underneath this. Pulsechain appreciates sound credit management, BTC and wrap Bitcoin to the moon. There we are, British Pulsechain now. How about that? I'm surprised I only got 49 views on that. Thought I've gotten there right after it launched. But yeah, just the way it goes. All right, so that is where we are right now. It's kicking on, and let's jump into another digital asset treasury, Strive, which has been an active buyer. And Strive at the moment, this is Matt Cole, the CEO. So it's good to get familiar with these, people. Also, the chairman. That's a bit weird, eh? CEO and chairman. Come on, that's a bit weird. All right. And I'm amazed to see how many of these guys are Christians, which is pretty awesome. I love that. As a Christian myself, that's very good wisdom. Very good wisdom there. All right, so we got Strive acquired an additional 18 Bitcoin for 1.2 million and an average cost of 64,000 per Bitcoin. So Strive there is just slowly creeping up, and they've now hit a 19,900 Bitcoin, valued over 2.25 billion. Strive on the move, playing their part, but their preferred stocks also not at $100. So no doubt that's a bit of common stock issuance there on the play. There's the 8K filing that they had as well. All right, so that's on the move. Let's jump into the ETFs. So we're going to get back to the digital asset treasuries. Not quite finished with that, but we will talk about the preferred stock in a minute. Don't forget to get in the chat there as well and get involved. We've got the inflows. So Bitcoin inflows for the 13th. So yesterday were negative 3,750. So we had seen last Friday an increase of 1,400. We've obviously had quite a few negative days. Doesn't show up here because we had a couple of positive days last week, but we had quite a few negative days for about 2 weeks, I think it was, for the ETFs before. But net buying since the ETFs launched, 11th of January 24, is still 645,000. Sorry, 636,000, I should say, since we launched, since the ETFs launched there. So it's still a pretty big net holder in Bitcoin. All right, so that is that. So obviously we want to get the digital assets back to being positive. We want to get the ETFs flowing in constantly. That's when we're going to get a real lift in the Bitcoin price. Now, obviously, there is facing competition from yields in the AI and the stock market. So we've got this competition going on, and we hopefully will get some rotation at some stage in this next half of this year that we're in now, right? Maybe the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter. That's kind of what we're looking for at the moment. So we're going to come back to that, of course, with ETH. But let's get into the preferred stocks. So we talked about the ETFs. Obviously, a mixed bag there going on with the purchasing, and with the ETFs here, obviously we've got Strategy at number 1. We've got Strive at number 2. You can see the green arrow there indicating that they just bought that extra 18. So there we go, up they go. And they got the MNAV there at 1.21. Interesting enough, that's kind of interesting. But we will be getting 2 new big players at least out of this list. Metaplanet later this year in Japan, and that's currently sitting on 43,000. We're expecting them wanting to go to 100,000 by the end of the year. I don't know if that's a net number, so I'll double check that. And then we also got Bitcoin Standard Treasury Company also in the play this year, potentially another 20 to 25,000, probably 23 to 25,000 more Bitcoin planned with equity. So Metaplanet likely with the debt markets with preferred stock. So they're all coming up as well. So you can kind of see we've got quite a nice lot of bullish digital asset treasury potential buyers coming in the second half of the year. And all just adds on top of each other. So that's kind of bullish. And then the ETFs will probably just flow in once they see the markets going up. A lot of the ETFs with the retail users in particular start to FOMO in, right? So there we go. We're just looking at tracking that through. All right, so let's have a look at the preferred stock, which is not the ETFs and equity, but actually the debt markets being targeted with this preferred stock innovations. We've still got quite a bit of work to do, as we say. Stretch from Michael Saylor's strategy at $87, a big gap to close to 100. And then the yield at the moment is still showing 11.5, but I think it's 12%. And then we got SATA from Strive sitting at $96.74. That actually dropped a bit, didn't it? It was $75.50 or something. And the effective yield there, 13.4%. Nominal rate that they're offering is 13%. So a bit of work to do there. And as I said, around Stretch, probably the big issue, or at least one of the hurdles, is the options market. And that's still holding it down a bit. So obviously the spot market's really going to have to do some work to break that down and start converge Stretch to $100 in July. So maybe it's not going to happen until August there. Now, both of these two, of course, have bought on innovations. SATA has bought on daily dividends, and Stretch has bought on bi-monthly dividends. But unfortunately, they're both under $100, so we haven't really get to see that play out. SATA, of course, the existing holders are going to get bi-monthly and daily dividends as SATA has been paying out. But we haven't seen new shares issued, especially for Stretch, for 2 months now. And that was weird, right? Because we had February to April, it was raising billions of dollars every month, buying tens of thousands of Bitcoin and taking off the market, which is kind of cool. So we'll see how that goes moving forward. But I think, the new capital management there for Stretch is probably good enough now for the market just to cool its jets. And the Bitcoin is much bigger market anyway, as I always say. Because all the stuff that these guys have bought are all locked away, right? So they're not even really in the market game at the margin, one might say. And so the market's going to do its thing. Let's see. All right, so we got the forward-looking view. As you guys know, Power Law pretty much holding up very well. It got definitely tested slightly below the red line this time. I believe it's the first time it's happened. But if we zoom in on the price, we're still along the bottom of the support line. You can see there's a little breach down there. We had a little breach. But we are back up above that right now at 62,500. And we got the line there at 61,000 now at the bottom. So what's the day is it today? The 11th, 14th. So let me just make sure I get the 14th there. So I got the 14th there. So 60,808 is the red line, the support line. We're currently at maybe $1,600 above that or something. And we've got the midline green is 171. Now the Power Law by the end of the year has 200K at the end of the year. So that's our target, with the support line being 70,868. The purple line, which is the top of the move, is 684. June next year, we're looking at 230. Tom Lee's got a target of about 250 for that. So that's in the ballpark, even if it's a perma bill. And then, of course, by the end of next year, we're looking at 272 in the midline, and 97,000 in the support line, and the midline is the green line, of course. And then by 2 years' time from now, approximately 322,000 is the midline, support line $114,000 Bitcoin, and the earliest that we've got a $1 million Bitcoin, if we do a banana rally, which we're expecting to happen, is $1 million by the beginning of June 28. So, just under 2 years away. would be the earliest that the power law at least is illustrating that we could get to $1 million. A lot of key players in the market expecting 2030, some expecting 2032 for that big $1 million magic mark as well. And so, yeah, we'll be keeping a lookout for that. We've got 2 halvings by 2032. So we're going to be going from 450 down to 112.5 Bitcoin a day. So it's a dramatic drop in emissions. We go from 13,000 down to 7,000 and then down to 3,500. So there's not a lot of extra Bitcoin coming out every month. And all we're seeing over time is more and more buyers come into the market. And over the next 2 years, it's going to be absolutely brutal, the amount, I think, of players and capital that come in for the market here. So we'll keep following that. Let's jump into Ethereum. I think Ethereum's got a much better story than even Bitcoin. So Ethereum here, of course, bringing in finance into the chain. It is already the winner across multiple categories. And I think it's only going to get better and better and better. So I really think Ethereum is a way better story because it's got the smart contracts, right? It can set up the economy. The chain can be upgraded. And so this is really huge. Bitcoin, really struggles with all that. Right? They don't have staking. There's no natural yield on it. And so, so forth. So there are a few innovations around Bitcoin, but this is really where all the action is happening on the Ethereum and other chains. But Ethereum is already showing to be the king winner because the chain doesn't shut down and it's robust. And even some of the other popular chains have a lot of shutdowns and other things and centralization, etc. They've got a lot of risk problems that they have. So even if they've got high TPS, high transactions per second. All right. So last 5 years we've been in this accumulation phase for Ethereum, and here we are now down the bottom. Looks like we were last year, but the catalysts this year are even better, right? Obviously we've got geopolitics problems, and we've obviously had 3 waves down here. We're also tracking the Bitcoin 4-year cycle, and so October is in play there. Will we break that cycle? That's another question moving forward. Presumably we will, as the crypto market matures, as we get these mega themes playing out. We should be able to break that as institutions take over the chain, but that's still a couple of years away, in my view. I was a lot more optimistic about it earlier this year, but clearly that pace is just going to take a bit of time. The Clarity Act could change all that too, so it could move it around, bring that all forward. Clarity Act's pretty key, I think, in that zone. All right, so at the moment we are in a pretty good buying zone, assuming we don't have the 4th wave down into October and we just sort of chum around here. We could have a pretty aggressive re-rate, and as I said last year, this re-rate all happened in 133 days. So just remember that as it comes down really aggressively, it can go up really aggressively, and the world can change pretty quickly. So just take note of that. The other thing, of course, we've had 3 negative quarters. We've never had 4 negative quarters in a row. So this could, it'd be pretty stellar if we did. Certainly got a window for that at the end of the 4-year cycle, one would argue. But man, that would be making some new history there. So all things equal, we should be able to see things go to the upside. And we have seen the whales start buying at large scales, particularly in Bitcoin and Ethereum there. And so hopefully we'll see this all play up to the upside. We've still got the digital asset treasuries buying, particularly the top 2, Bitmine and Sharplink. Sharplink started buying the last couple of weeks again after a long time not buying, and buying pretty decent amount of ETH. We also see whales buying a bit of ETH as well. Obviously, ETFs have also been relatively better than Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the ETH ETFs at the moment. You can kind of see they've been buying. Look at this, guys. So obviously negative on Monday at negative 8,500, but Friday last week 10,500. Wednesday 40,000 ETH, 15,000 the day before, 11,000. So the previous weeks that have been really negative doesn't show up here on the data, but they had switched and become more positive, and that was a lot more better than Bitcoin. And of course, we see the ratio between Bitcoin and Ethereum going up, right? So that's pretty cool. We got the 23rd of July here with the ETFs here. We got a net buy here of 2.65 million total. So that's how much these ETFs have bought through, 2.65 million ETH. So pretty powerful stuff. And it looks like they're back in the mix there. Obviously still a little bit of volatility, but we obviously got the State of the Moves issue there playing out on Monday. All right, so that is the key stuff there with ETFs. With the leading digital asset treasury Bitmine, well, they bought another 27,800 ETH. So $49 million last week. Pretty good, pretty good. We can actually see the recent purchases. So, 27,800 on the weekly. We had 42,000 last week. 2 weeks ago. 27,000 3 weeks ago. 52,000 ETH by 4 weeks ago, etc. So they've still been buying pretty good. Now, 6 weeks ago, they had a high there of 127,000 ETH that they bought. And so Bitmine has still got room to move. They have pretty much got all the cash they need to hit the 5% moving forward. Obviously the MNAV is pretty low. I think last time I saw it's like 87 or something. But they're ticking away. Let's have a look at this little Newswire article. So they're now at 5.77 million tokens now. They've got to hit 6,035,000 approximately. So they've got the cash to do it, right? So let's have a little look here. Bitmine owns 4.8% of the e-supply now. So it's 120.7 million ETH. They own 4.8%. Obviously, we've seen Robinhood launch with large volumes. They're kind of contributing a little bit to deflation on the Ethereum layer 1. Certainly layer on the Robinhood chain has been, I think it's about 400 or 500 ETH been burned through. Bitmine was added to the Russell 1000. Obviously, big move there. We'll probably see that still play out in the months ahead. The benefit of that. Bitmine has staked 4.9 million ETH so far. So they've got 5.77, but they've only staked 5.9. So it was about 90%. Representing $9 billion. And this Maven is going to be a big deal here. If you're looking for a bit of the piece of the puzzle on top of the digital asset treasury, Maven is the key there. Premier Ethereum staking destination BMN and institutional investors. I think that's going to have more powerful users, not only institutional using this platform, but also the apps that maybe Bitmine comes out with, which we haven't seen yet. And of course, the mass adoption through Mr. Beast. This may play a key role in product delivery for that as well. So we'll be watching that as infrastructure. Bitmine owns 69 million of ALGO as well. That's the OpenAI and digital ID with WorldCoin in there. And as I said, WorldCoin later on this month, I think it's the 23rd, is going to have a significant reduction in supply dripping into the market. So that's going to be slowing down as well. All right, so that's kind of it at the moment. Let's see what else. I just wanted to talk about one or two of these other things. Let's see here. So the question is why they haven't staked all, right? So it takes about 60 days to go through the staking queue. They may have other reasons for that, maybe retail reasons. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with that, with the apps. But they're bringing over the finance, right? So the other thing that Bitmine Immersion has done is set up along with SharpLink, the other big digital asset treasury that's focused on institutions. They set up ETH Labs, and of course, all this funding and supporting ETH Labs, and also Ethereum Institutional. These two new nodes, as they call them, sitting around the Ethereum Foundation. So we've basically got these three big development nodes and adoption nodes, and they're moving towards commercialization to accelerate that. So that they're matching all the companies that are coming over, and obviously increase speed and transactions like Glamsdam, and more developments moving forward, quantum detection, etc., all playing in there as well. So there's going to be a lot more commercial. So that we've got this real leadership in us, and it's strong. And this is why yesterday I had a video saying on the offensive. This is on the offensive. Ethereum is on the offensive now, guys. It's not just sitting there with some geeks, building it out. It is now really moving to a commercial focus for institutional and mass adoption. And as I said, not only institutionals coming and ramping up, but also the mass adoption, I think, is going to come through Mr. Beast, and it's going to be pretty exciting, I think, moving forward. All right, so that is kind of cool. That is the Ethereum chart right now. So we're at 1776, a good year. And here we've got the weekly moving average, $2,474 on the 200. That's the 4-year moving average there. And then, of course, we've got the 50-day at 2866. But essentially, I think we've got some targets that we need to get over 2,000. We need to get, obviously, over 2,250, and then 2,480. That's going to be the key mark, I think. But to say that we can get start up for the next rally is getting over this 2,480 kind of key. And then we'll have a higher high, right? That's the basic idea there. And so we'll be looking for that in the next few months. Right, could happen sooner than later. We'll see. But this time, once we go over 5K, I think we're going to go 5K this time because we've got stablecoin, tokenization, and AI boom all in play. Last year we had digital assets, Treasury's Genius Act, short covering, and tariff relief. Those were kind of the drivers there. But this time they're even more profound. Their fundamental change in the Ethereum network is going on here. The future of finance coming over, and Ethereum is on the offensive there with great leaders leading us in that direction, and with access to big liquidity markets. So we've got the perfect setup, guys. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious. Right, we're going to be raised in the glorious of the sun, but it's going to be pretty neat. All right, so let's jump over to Pulsechain. So Pulsechain, of course, is downstream, as I say, from Ethereum. We've got my formula is base plus magic, and the base case is looking pretty good at the moment. I know we're hunting for the bottom of Pulsechain again, but actually we're getting a lot of value projects added onto Pulsechain, and we've got decent volumes ticking along every day. So it's I think looking kind of good. I think community can get out there and start spreading the word, bring new users in. Buy low, and what I think we've got a great zone of DCAing and buying low here. We've certainly had structural changes in the chart, so we've got some substantiation for all that, with the value projects coming, and of course the chart looking better, even if we're finding the bottom here. So we're going to get into that. Pulsechain at the moment is at 5 zeros, 5,535. So we're just off the bottom, 5,400. We're down 2.8% today. We got Hex on Pulsechain at 0008, so 800th of a penny, down 2%. We got Provex at the moment at 4 zeros 39, so that is down actually up 0.1%. This could be July, August could be the first wave of adoption for Provex. With LibertySwap, Vault 369, and VersaVault. So that could be in play. We might do a little topic on that. We got Pulsex at the moment is at 504, down 3%, and Ink Token there, 27 cents, down 2.9%. So a down day for everything except for Provex there. Let's go to the gas prices. We've been super low gas prices, haven't we, lately? 445,000, a bit higher today, but we're still pretty cheap. 66 Pulse for a Pulsex swap, 400th of a penny for a Pulsex swap there. Pulsex being the main number one DEX on Pulsechain. Validators, let's quickly go to that. We had lost a few thousand, and we gained a few hundred recently. So we're pretty similar yesterday. 45,254 validators there at the moment. Only $177 to set up your own, to buy 32 million Pulse to set up a validator. Obviously, it doesn't include the hardware. Check out David Feder if you want to do your own hardware there. It's got the tech for that, etc. The yield is about 9.4% at the moment. Obviously, Pulsechain price getting hit there, so US dollars. But anyway, that is where we are on that. Let's finally go to the liquidity. No, we're not going to liquidity. We're going to the bridge stats. Actually, we might go to liquidity, but because we haven't done that for a while. Bridge stats. I've actually got a lot to talk about, haven't we? We're up to 53 minutes. Yeah, I don't think we'll go to liquidity today because we've got a lot of stuff to come up to talk about Pulsechain here. 47.75. We're down quite a bit there with the ETH coming down. We have quite a bit of ETH and Bitcoin, and then of course we have stablecoins. But the ETH and Bitcoin, their prices are going down, so the bridge is going down as well. And we're back. We're just above the all-time low there. I think it's all-time low. 47.42. So about $300,000 off the bottom there. We've had a negative 200K today as well. Not very helpful. Quite a bit of stablecoin too. What the heck? That's pretty unusual. Well, I guess it's not that unusual, but it's a lot. It's a lot. So 215K dime. We had obviously had stuff coming in, but the net effect was we had 60 in and 263 out. That's quite a big day of stablecoins going out actually. Down 203 there. So, a bit of hard work going on there. We're not going to do liquidity pools, but I will probably look at that tomorrow, and maybe we even look back at the leagues like we did a week ago. It's kind of interesting. Let's jump into the Pulsechain chart. The battle for the bottom. Yeah, we're up against it. We've got all these headwinds coming in. It's like we're on a ship we've got a sailing ship, and we've got all these headwinds coming on us. And we've got the passion. We've got the vigor, and we've got in this massive storm. Maybe there's a tsunami ahead of us or whatever, but it's a bit like that. All right, so we are hunting the bottom, and this is our 3-year mega down chart. This is the one that gets mocked, by Ivan on Tech and everything else like that. So we are trying to find the bottom here. So at the moment, we're all the way down. What's the chart showing? 165 weeks, 11. Yeah, so it's down at the moment. We're trying to find the bottom, and of course we got a negative. If we take the second week chart there, we are negative 98%, 98% down. So just shy of 99%, I guess. But we are hunting the bottom, and we are basically back. So we had the bottom here on the 8th of June, the week of the 8th of June at 5,400. So 50 is 5,400. We're now at 55.45. We're just pretty much at the same level. We have actually tapped just above it today. We've been 54.35. So we go to the daily. You can see yesterday's chart. We actually got to 54. So we basically double tapped where we were back here. It's just a fraction higher. I mean, that's nothing in it. And you can see we had an attempt, came back down, had slightly lower high here, didn't we? We had a little recovery here, slightly higher high, and then down we've come. Obviously, with the rest of the macro market not being pretty volatile. Now we've got a little bounce here on the daily on the RSI, so we might get a little bounce here. With the RSI getting down near the oversold, but it's not a given because we can always go negative, even more negative. But there we go. The 21 moving average, which is kind of the trader view, is at 506100. So that's our first target to try and get over at the moment. And of course, with that capital leaving over the bridge, not a good sign either, right? So with that negative 200 and a lot of stable coins, not helpful. Let's jump into the weekly again. And so the weekly moving average is on the 21 moving average is at 8,500. So we've got a lot of work to do. So we'll just have to chime ourselves out. Hopefully we can hold on here and not go down any further. I think I had a measure for the further, was it 48? I think we had 4,800. I think was the mark that we did. If we continue this line, we're maybe 40, 46 or so, 47, 48. So hopefully we don't go down there, and we'll start to grind to the bottom. So we're really just in discovery here. I mean, that's all we can say, right? We're certainly oversold on the oversold line, just triggering along here for ages. This is structurally different, this chart. So we're kind of finding the rounding bottom, but we've potentially got a month to 2-3 months before we find out on this chart from my looks here. And without a market maker, and I just can't think of who would the market maker be on this. We certainly know LibertySwap's doing their best to drag in capital. Some of the blue chips, they kind of contribute, but at the end of the day, we do have a lot of idle stablecoin just sitting on the Pulsechain as well. If that suddenly gets activated and pushes the chart up, it's easy to move because we've got very thin liquidity, right? So we'll just have to see whether any agencies there happen. Obviously, we talk about my formula, base plus magic. Magic is the richer art and the sacrifice set. Obviously, that's downstream from Ethereum. Ethereum is way down. So I don't really suspect that will be used in any capacity. That's the assumption. Could be wrong, but even a fraction of that would be just a little bit can help the Pulsechain move up. So that could happen, that scenario. But all things equal, and then obviously that has to re-rate in value as well. Any movement of that capital would be under cost, which was 37.73 on that 170 ETH. So we'll just see what happens in there. I believe the money is sitting in the Prevex wallet as well. All right, so that's what we're looking for. Still hunting the bottom. We're not out yet. We're not out yet. We're not free. Not free yet. There we are. 8,500 is kind of the mark there. We have to get over 85. 73, 85. So we definitely come down there, and 85, 600, the 21 moving average. So that's what we would be hunting to really start breaking free from these higher lows. Just continue higher lows down there. All right, let's zoom out. You guys want it. Let's go to the monthly. We have got 12 months, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 months, negative red. We were hoping that it was going to be 11. We've got 12 months, and we've still got August, September, arguably before the October 4-year cycle to go through. So I don't know. Let's see what happens here. See what happens. It'll be helpful if maybe in August we get a bit of a move there. Maybe the Strait of Hormuz has been managed, and we get an early move on the 4-year cycle there with the whales continuing to buy, and we get some positive Clarity Act news. Then it's all maybe we'll find the bottom 12 months and start heading up. And we'll always remember, just like the Ethereum parabolics, maybe we're going to have 13 red months. So 13 parabolics for Hex, and then 13 months for the downsides here in a row, and up we go. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Certainly plenty of room in the RSI for a big rally in the old Pulsechain. So once we do break that lower highs and lower lows, it will be a glorious thing. Certainly buying low right now, you are picking up a massive amount of pulse. To get a billion pulse during the sacrifice here, it was $85,000, $90,000. Now you can get it for 5,500, which is crazy. So let's do that math quickly. And we'll divide 5,500 by 90,000. And that is a, what am I trying to do there? So my bad. We tried 90,000 there. I could have easily invested, but screw it. But I'm on live stream. It's a little bit more awkward sometimes. So that's a 16.3x volume. So yeah, we didn't get the price X's unless you sold the first couple of weeks. But we got the 16.3x in volume. So all that whale sacrifice stuff has all been redistributed, and it's sitting there for you to pick up in the LP pools. That's a 16.3x in volume, and there we go. So we'll keep a lookout for that. We are hunting the bottom. Hopefully we're close in here. Now let's jump into the markets here. We're going to go back here and have a look at Pulsechain. Let's do the overall. I'm just going to refresh this actually. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. Hey, we've got Jeff in the house. Up and away, Jeff. Great to see you in the house. Always. Let's have a look at the markets here. So we're sitting on $2.6 million. So we're chumming around. We've been doing $2.5 to $3.5 million typically. We're in a weekday, of course, but that doesn't seem to be much different from a weekend these days. So yeah, we're doing 2.6 million. We're just chumming away. Now it'd be a worry if we were doing only a couple 100,000. That'd be a problem. But we're still doing 2.5 to 3.5. So that can't be too bad. Have a look at UPulse and Pulse on the weekly sometime, please, says Jeff. Okay, we'll try and look at UPulse there from PlusX, right? UPulse, is that UPulse from PlusX, I think. All right, so we got $2.6 million in volume right now, 321,000 transactions. We got PulseX V2 is out of 2.6 million is doing how much? 1.8. So we got 800,000 amongst the other dexes. So LibertySwap V3 at 800 is doing 450. So what we got there? 350 left. 9mm. Let's see what the volumes are actually. Who's doing the most volume? It's typically the same players, but Richard Cause, Finvestor doing pretty good. And this new token Pulse Wojak as well, so they're doing in the mix there. LibertySwap V3 is doing close to 450. Peacock and Peacock Ninjas, the OG Web Chef, and the Pulsechain and DAI stablecoin there, doing quite well on the I guess the PDAI. 9mm V3 also doing mostly Richard Cause. And then that's doing 300. So what do we say? 350. So we've got about 60k left, have we? Maybe 70k. Okay, 87. So it's pretty much the rest of it is SwitchX, and most of that's Pulsechain Cause, Wrapped ETH, Bridgeton. Pretty much that's it at the moment. So those are the four big ones. 9inch doing just a tiny bit, 8,400, and then a Uniswap there, 3,000. So that is the volume. Doesn't always necessarily balance up exactly because I'm doing it just on the fly, but those are the moves right now. LibertySwap's still doing about 500,000, and OG Web's has been a big contributor to that. Even though it's a high risk play, it's been pretty profitable so far, I would imagine, if you've played it right. But it is high risk, high return. So just remember that. Top token at the moment is P Wojak. This just launched in the last hour, is it? It looks like it. I don't know if there's only one pair, but it's just launched. 644%, so new token. And that is ticked off there. So what do we got? 30k volume over 27 liquidity. Let's look at the 15 minutes chart here. That's the 15 minutes. It's still going up there. 40s, 3,800. Not endorsing this, of course. This is we always get new tokens launched. What does it say? Wojak is launching on Pulsechain. P Wojak is a community-driven continuous deflation token. Continuous buybacks and burns will drive P Wojak to keep reaching new highs, and everyone will love it. So there we go. That's from them. I don't know how safe it is or anything. It's got these crazy looking faces, popular memes, but there we go. P Wojak is leading today. Finvestor from OG Web Chef, the grandparent, a big move, 48% on Finvestor to $2.60. Who would have thought? So a bit of capital coming in there, $28,000. Presumably this is from OG WebChef team itself. Presumably has pumped this. And they've been earning a lot of that money from, I guess, what they probably earn $1.5 million or more from the Peacock Ninjas, the Ninja Peacock printer. Possibly they've got capital coming in there. I'm guessing here, right? So just guessing. It's a logical guess. And so $2.59, nice big move there in the old Finvesta, the grandparent of all the OG WebChefs. 90mm, our third biggest DEX, is up 13% as well. Got sold down a little bit yesterday, wasn't it? I think it did. Yeah, yesterday. Oh, there's a weekly candle, so let's go to the daily to be fair. Yesterday it was a sell down, remember that? And then we've got the current day. So there we go. We're just opening up a new day, but essentially we had a big bounce back from there. It was pretty violent, wasn't it? Yesterday, all the way down. Got down to quarter of a penny, back up at half a penny now. So 13%. I think this was up like 100% earlier too. This depends on the base of the hour, right? When it's comparing that red candle there. And the pulse ratio, it went all the way down to 462, back at 922. And recent high has been 1654. It's still an uptrend, even with the violent sellers. There's still an uptrend going on there, as rough as it is. Rough. OG WebChef printer, and again, number 5, world's greatest PDI printer, up 10% as well, sitting at 19.4 cents. No doubt the yields must have increased. So no, I guess the volume's 9K over 15K on this main pair. But there it is on the chart. That's a weekly chart, just off the bottom, 17.5 cents to 19.5 almost. So there we go. You go to the website. Let's go to the website, shall we? We can have a look at the yields from Ninja Peacock and World's Greatest PDI printer. Let's see what this is saying. What's it going to show? Peacock Ninjas, yes, definitely dropped because it was up over 30%, so 22.9% on the weekly for PNAS or Peacock Ninjas, 3.8% on the daily, 14% on the 3 days, and then you got World's Greatest PDI printer, dramatically lower, right? 2.44% on the week, 1.3% on the 3 day, over 0.5% a day though, ticking away on the older WebChef printer there. Gas money, which gives you pulse, that is just a fraction, 0.1%, 0.5% over 3 days, 1.4% in the week, giving you yield there in different toys. So Peacock Ninja is giving you USDC, EUSDC, PDI printer doing you PDI, and the gas money giving you pulse, and then you got all these other printers in there as well. Remember these guys? Flexmas, Beast. They've all had their day in the sun, haven't they? Sunshine. They're all turned off now. I mean, look at the yields, all pretty much dead. We've got the Dominance, Flex Boost. Do you remember all these guys? Heaps of them. ATM, OG WebChef printer. There we go. All right, so that is ticking away. Let's go down to Liberty. Liberty, of course, recently launched their vaults as part of their roadmap, up 7.4% today. They launched DMARC, right? So this is paired up to DMARC, DMKT. So that was recently launched. Let's go have a little nosy at their X account and see what they've got to say, whether there's any update about that over the last little bit. We kind of read the messages here. Saving DAI. You do use DAI. DAI is what you need to come in and mint, isn't it? So saving DAI or SDAI has been running almost 3 years. It's up 70%. DMARC has been running for almost 3 days. It's up 4%. And Liberty is what makes it all possible. So we did have a look at their collateral. Still small retail play, but 16K, but it's doing its thing. And it's all designed to see all the in and outs coming in that it will slowly push up the vault price. So it's got $1.039 and 3.98. Now that will be subject to larger players coming in out on sustainability. So even though the vault price can go up, you still got big players can impact the protocol. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out over time. Obviously, you capture a bit of their value as they go out, even if they're big players. But certainly, the vault will move around a bit there. All right, so some interesting stuff going on there. We wish them the best, as always. Now, number 7 is Pulse Puppy. Been around for over 2 years, up 5.6%. Bonnie is up 1.13%. I think both those are meme coins, from memory. BFF, so we've got James Maria in here, number 910, up 1%. So that's pretty much it at the moment on the top 10. peers. The number 11 is Coin Mafia from Rack and Michelle, but he's going to face a lot of competition from LibertySwap because they're coming out with a big new token launcher, and that's probably going to be pretty amazing, right? So keep a lookout for that. And also, the equivalence of buy and burn with all these DeFi's rolling out LibertySwap is magnificent. I think it's already up to 23,000 validators, and we've got 45 at the moment. So it's equivalence. That's equivalence 23. And I think Rackham's got 2,000 operating on Coin Mafia, and it was going to go to 5, but I don't think we've seen the other 3 yet at all, because we haven't seen the climb in validators, unless he's using existing validators that he's got. So I don't know what's happening there. Apparently he's doing a big burn on this as well coming up, so we'll see what happens there. Can't remember how much it is, but it's got a burn coming up. But that's at $1.56 right now, up 0.2%. So we'll keep a lookout for that. They haven't had a lot of coin launches on there. There's been 1 or 2 modestly popular ones, but apart from that, still lackluster multi-chain and all that. So a lot of those claims that we saw happen, have not happened, right? So we just, we follow the actions, not necessarily the claims being made. X Game at the moment from Firewhale. So we've got two whale projects in a row here. X Game there. That's up 0.5%. And of course, he relaunched 3 different casino games. I haven't been seeing how they're operating, but we might check in on that at some stage. We've basically got 2 main game suppliers at the moment, right? We've still got Firewall stuff that's multi-chain operating, I think, and I haven't really looked at that too much. And then we've got Morbius from Kyle, which is doing really great. We looked at it the other day, and it looks really great there. So he's just working hard and building that out. So, kind of looking for that. And you guys know we've got a 3rd big protocol coming in the gaming casino space, which is on-chain bet from Jacob, one of the world's best, if not the best, peer-to-peer dev, one might argue. Although timing is a problem. Getting things to market is definitely his Achilles heel. But apparently that's well advanced. I think 15 out of 20 games are prepared for on-chain bet. It's going to cross-chain as well, so it's got all that complexity in it. He is the smart contract king there. I think Mafia was running with 60 contracts plus, was it, on the Mafia game? So complexity in the house there. But I'd rather him move to getting using his genius abilities to get fast-moving products into the market, and I think he should. But he likes to do the challenging stuff, which means it's a bit like just doing the complex stuff, which it's up to him. I mean, it's his life at the end of the day. But we would like to see some fast-moving deliveries rather than 2-year, 3-year deliveries would be much better. All right, we got Mafia, and so Solid X in there as well with the old Firewall is in there as well, up slightly, just a fraction of a percent. What else there? ProveX, of course, is in the mix there, just up slightly green as well. And then SwitchX also up slightly, just under half a penny, 4600ths of a penny there. And that's a long play out. And we're expecting some good things, actually. I think that SwitchX ecosystem is going to be much bigger than people think. Certainly, Brandon's been teasing about tokenization discussion and them being at the lead of that, and that the DEX is supporting of that. Which I'm not exactly sure what that specifically means. Could be because most DEXs should be able to support, tokenizations, swaps, and things and that. But I think maybe it's to do, if they're based on the PLC20 technology, I guess. But I think it's maybe to do around metadata and other stuff like that. That could be in their play. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. I don't know. It's good technical questions. And then everything else is slightly out of the money, right? Slightly out of the money there. Anything that's greater than 2.8%, was it, is better than Pulse. So we come back there. That means about 55 coins in the top 100 trending here on Dex Screener. This doesn't have all the coins. There's other coins doing well, but it doesn't show those up. So it's just based on Dex Screener's default view, which we use. But 55 coins are probably doing better than Pulse right now. Let's have a look at what's not doing so great. We've got Peacock Ninjas, one of the peers. They've definitely come down. Price is down to 4075. I think we were at 40,900, 9,200 yesterday. So we're to come down a little bit there, 13-14%. Volumes are still pretty attractive, on the volumes, but definitely that yields come down over the last week from 33-34% down to 28%, I think we said it was. Payment, another PDI project there, down 15% as well. SCADA from Nectar Supply down 7%, one of our boutique, innovative, small teams. Next Supply and SCADA. Well, they're not that small now. I guess they're kind of still small, aren't they? What's the market cap? 330. So let's say small, medium hybrid in the middle there. I love using the word hybrid. Probably use it too much. PC the Greys down 6% as well, and James Maria Teddy Bear down. Most wanted top meme coin community down 5%. So there we go. Some of the bigger ones there. Let's look at LibertySwap Peacock. It's sitting just below 9/10 of a penny, getting dragged down there a little bit. Let's see what pair we got here. Pulse. Let's go look at Pulse pair. We'll go full screen here. As you guys know, I've been tracking this pretty closely. This is our big Kraken project on Pulsechain. These guys we've got a lot of blue, I would say we've got a good half a dozen of active blue chip teams at the moment. But this is the juggernaut, right? This is the big one. I'd say internet money wallets probably not too far behind. And that space certainly more advanced in some areas, but there's a bit of a convergence going on there. But the amount of DeFi being rolled out in LibertySwap is going to be very large. We can see that on the chart. They're pretty active. It'd be great. Wouldn't it be great having 3 teams in the space? At least 3 teams are doing something like this. Even twice that would be amazing. But I would say LibertySwap, Internet Money, the top of the king of the hills. I'd say Patius is pretty close, a bit down further, but certainly playing a key role. Especially if they can get their AI trading out, that would bring a big AI platform, our first one on Pulsechain, what we'd call blue chip. I call blue chips the big heavyweight, the ones with the real quality products and some market share, those sort of the ones, and doing quality stuff, right? It's kind of the play. But we've got probably, I don't know, I'm suggesting we've probably got about 15 teams that have launched blue chip projects, but probably only 3 to 5 of those are kind of really active in the leading space. That's kind of how I put it there. Probably should do a live stream, as I've said in the past, on that, but that's kind of where we are. Here is LibertySwap though. Since the beginning of the year, we can see that green line there is the turnover 25 to 26, and so we've seen a big ramp up, haven't we? So LibertySwap V2 migration came in, enabling contracts and liquidity upgrades. Then we saw not too far after the new year, 27th of February, we saw LibertySwap 2 hook contracts in. This is getting into cross-chain technology, so CCTP, CCIP, enabling cross-chain projects. Obviously, we know that Jacob is doing that as well with his on-chain bet casino gaming site coming up. They're going to have 20 games to kick it off from the looks of it when they do launch. Can't be too far away, let's say within 2-3 months maybe. And then we've got LibertyDex, obviously launched Liberty, which was previously LibertyX. Now that is, of course, that swapping DEX aggregator site has been taken offline. They're refactoring it, trying to get it faster and smoother and all the rest of it. That is coming back. We'll look at that in a minute with the roadmap. Then we had Railgun, of course, from Ethereum, hybrid coming over to Pulsechain, porting over, I think it was an ETH and stable, USDC. I think it's either one or both of those. I can't remember now, but that was in the play. But we will get our own Railgun contracts on Ethereum, on Pulsechain coming soon. That could be quite transformative in terms of privacy and shielding on Pulsechain. So then we end up from 27th of February here, we come into the 26th of April. They roll out the big ZKX wallet, right? So wallet's a big deal, trying to do a wallet, especially if you're trying to be the wallet of everything. You've got to build in a lot of stuff into it. Every time you make something, you got to port it in. And so we got ZK Wallet came out. The browser extension was first, full non-custodial with privacy. Then not long after that, 25th of April, we came into 26th of May, and then they launched Liberty Pools, so a V3 DEX AMM, and that's been ramping up really nicely. And obviously, this with the help of OG WebChef, they're sitting in number 2 spot there with about $500,000 of volume a day, and we're arguably at the bottom of the market, right, at 2.5 million. And then, of course, after that, they'll continue they're going to continue to roll out that. They want to get up to $5 million, I think, TVL. I think it's this year. We got Liberty Private Swap then came out, right, with Railgun shielded swaps on the 10th of June there. And then we saw on the 11th of June, Liberty Hypermarket get launched using Hyperliquid technology and presumably benefiting from the foundation. So not only earning from fees from Hypermarket, which is a prediction output market, but also potentially earnings from the foundation itself. So we haven't heard much more about that, but maybe they get some funding there. And of course, what have we got coming up? Well, I've got a little list here of things we're expecting for July. Fiat on-ramp, using it with Peer, decentralized spot and perpetuals. and of course, mobile ZKP wallet that's coming. So one thing that's not on here, which I need to put on here, is of course the ZKX wallet web launch. So they've launched that. I've got to add that back in here as one of these orange items. But that was launched recently, was the web version, which it can pretty much go everywhere. But then we've also got the mobile version coming up, and also on applications being made to all the big platforms like Internet Money has with Apple and Google to get them on there, which opens us up to 195 countries, 93 countries, whatever there is now, and also with multi-chain, dozens of chains. So pretty cool there. They talked about a Peacock buy and burn accelerator. We haven't seen that yet, so that's expected to come out as well. So this is the list I had before they gave their update. Now they've given us an update, and so we're going to get to that now. All right. So 21st, 21 hours ago, we're going back a little bit further in the day, just because I want to just check out all the news as we go. You will not need to hold Pulse to pay gas for transactions on Pulsechain this July. So you're going to really dealing with this gas thing. Some people think it's a trivial item. I think it's actually pretty important for adoption. And so I think it's a nice value add, right? It's not necessary, but it's certainly helping, I think, with onboarding and making things life a lot easier, particularly for new adoption. You can hold ETH on Ethereum and pay gas for transactions on Pulsechain instantly. So it just makes things just so easy for adoption. You might even be able to pay gas using Peacock in the future, which is a new thing they've been making. So that's I'm not aware of them talking about this before, so this seems to be something new. We did expect that Peacock would get a lot of adoption. I've been saying that. I said, we get these people teasing about PDI and other stuff. It's like, well, Peacock is your store of value. This is where you should be pushing everything to. And this is what they're doing. Which is great to see. I love that. Very clear-eyed, as we say. In 2 more weeks, a trademark there, of course. If you stake Peacock, you can transact gas-free on all supported networks. So 2 more weeks, in other words, means that's not a 2 weeks. So we'll see when actually this comes into play. Maybe it's August sometime. But if you stake Peacock, you can transact gas free on all networks. So this is by the ZKX wallet as well. Now, recently they announced that it had 3,000 downloads, which is pretty interesting. We're also going to compare that to Internet Money, which has been around for a long time, with their wallet update that's come out in the Monster thread. We're going to look at that in a second. But 3,000 is pretty good. I think I'm pretty impressed with that, and we'd like to see that obviously accelerate away. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So we've got free gas in there, so pretty cool. So much privacy, much faster, cheaper, and more convenient, making Peacock multi-chain gas token. So this is all pretty new stuff, and this is great stuff. This is what we want to see happen. So a couple of little pieces there. Pay gas with Peacock. Staking Peacock's coming up. Yeah, there could be multiple benefits to that coming up. And then, of course, making Peacock multi-chain as well. So there's 3 little alpha drops there from the LibertySwap team. Pretty cool stuff. Emmett says free gas through staking arriving while native Railgun deploys in complete financial freedom. Yep, nice stuff there. What do you mean we stake? Stake Peacock. We stake Peacock, Mr. Yida Sink. Yeah. All right. So what else we got there? Team building. Yep, this drive will be on fire. How to stake Peacock in 2 more weeks. So obviously not a firm date on that yet. So what's the point of Pulse then? If you got Peacock, it's abstracted away. However, all transactions from all blockchains lead back to consistent bid for Pulse. The more you use ZKX wallet, the more demand for Pulse. Absolutely, yeah. You stake Peacock? Yes, it's designed to free you from paying gas fees and blockchain. Novel approach there. But I suggest to you there'll be probably a lot of other benefits coming up for that. We'll be watching that as well. I'm thinking one of those things I'm thinking of, maybe this is my guess based on their previous comments, is possibly around meme coin airdrops and stuff like that, rewards. So it could become a whole reward thing there. Could be pretty cool. All right, so that's kind of cool from them. That was an update 21 hours ago. Let's get into some of these other updates 13 hours ago. On Pulsechain, they say, what do we got here? We've got Uniswap protocol fees are live. Uni is being burned. There we go. Uniswap founder Hayden remind everybody that protocol fees are active and Uni tokens are being burned from them. So there we go. That's the way they're finally that they are doing value. LibertySwap replied and says, on Pulsechain, we have Peacock, a token with an even stronger buyback and burn model. And here is some of the kingpins here. So LibertySwap cross-chain fees, buyback and burn Peacock. Liberty Shield, privacy protocol, buyback and burn Peacock. Liberty V3 on Pulsechain, which is doing about 500,000 volume at the moment, burns Peacock. So obviously they take 20% of the fees, plus they have their own LP Presumably they're using some of that as well. I think they've hinted at in the past. Liberty Hypermarket, Outcomes Market, Buyback and Burn Peacock. And then, of course, the ZKX wallet in swaps is coming. This is coming. So these are the ones here already. And then, of course, this is what's coming up. ZKX wallet and wallet swaps, Buyback and Burn, and Liberty Perpetuals coming soon, Buyback and Burn as well. So these are all coming up. I don't think the in-wallet swaps are active yet. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure I looked yesterday. I don't remember seeing anything. And this is how we pass real protocol success directly to Peacock holders, ecosystem revenue, holder value. That's Liberty Way. And this is really exciting. Right? So just even with the existing ones, I believe it's around about 23,000 equivalent validators, which is massive buying pressure. And they're about to roll out another 6 DeFi within probably the next 6 weeks, is my guess. So you're getting up from 4 to 10 different things that will be buying and burning Peacock. And I think it's only going to get bigger from there. So you can kind of see that's going to start running away for sure. I don't know. I think we've been seeing maybe, I'm just guessing off a couple of spot checks, maybe 70 to 100,000 Peacock a day being burned. That could all start running away into hundreds of thousands at the current price. So we'll keep a watch out for that. And maybe even potentially, a million Peacock right now would be $9,000. So you can kind of see if they start getting enough DeFi and earning $9,000 across all the dApps, things start running away. And if they blow up even further from there with the users and capital and all this cool stuff they're doing, could run away through there. So we'll keep a lookout. At the moment, of course, maybe it's doing about 100,000 a day. We'll be tracking that. All right, so that's a lot of buyback and burns. Peacock, yeah, it definitely is. So kind of cool. We're really so excited about all this. Just having a look at some of the stuff here. All right, so there we go. All right, so let's move forward. What else have we got here? There's a few comments there. Yeah, believe in that. So we're going to move forward on there. What else? Now, this is what we're trying to get to, right? So this is the plan for July. Now, they were going to give us a 6-month plan for the second half of the year. So I'm not sure whether this is the plan because it's just July and maybe a little bit of August. But maybe they have got a longer time frame coming up. I think maybe they backed out of doing 6 months because they like to swap around what projects they're going to launch in the right order, right? Which they ended to yesterday. So maybe that's we're going to be with the July, which is fine. I don't have any problem with that. Our plan for the rest of July. There we go. So we've got just about 2 weeks. This July we released the ZKX wallet. This July we released the ZKX web app. That is the last update, and I've got to add that to the chart, right? So I've got to add that in here. And of course, with the dApp connections and in-wallet swaps, plus a new block explorer for Pulsechain and Railgun. Yeah, I've got to add that in too. So I've got to add that in here too as the block explorer there. So 2 items I've got to add. Here's what's coming for the remainder of the month. So we've got 2 weeks basically. We've got the ZKX wallet, Fast Shield and Unshield via integrated Liberty Shield coming. So let's speed that up, launching this week. So they're going to speed that up for the privacy. That'll be using the current Railgun, no doubt. Broadcast selection for in-wallet Railgun, 3rd week of July. Liberty team earns fees by operating Railgun broadcasters. So that's coming up. So it's more fees. Bluetooth hardware wallet connection on mobile. Currently targeting 3rd week of July. Gas feature for gasless transactions on Pulsechain last week of July. So there we go. So we've got all these other ones here, guess next week and the next week ahead. And this one here in the last week of July. Then you've got Liberty Pool. So the V3, they're going to have the pool statistics section goes live, which will be great for me because I get to talk about that on live stream. Oh, that'd be great. Talk about the volumes and the yields and everything. Standardization, optimization, darting process. So a little bit of optimization there. Then we've got LibertySwap contract fee functionality by the end of July. So LibertySwap being the bridge with built-in ZKX wallet integration. So that's really good. That will increase the user numbers. Obviously, there's 3,000 downloads of that wallet and growing. So that's kind of cool, adding more potentiality for users and fees. Partners can configure their own fees using the Liberty API as well. That's pretty interesting. And that could be a nice scaling impact right across other protocols, no doubt. I haven't actually seen much of that, so Obviously, the APIs came out earlier this year, and SDKs for developers. So yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if they've made any comment on that. I don't know how much visibility they have of all that, but probably should have some. Continue to scale adoption and infrastructure. So that's LibertySwap there, the big, as I call it, the big river, and all these other projects are like businesses along those rivers, right? And those rivers go to multiple chains, and you kind of see that's good. I think it's a workable analogy there. Liberty on-ramp, off-ramps, this quite new stuff here coming up. So this is kind of getting into more new stuff here. Follow recent discussions with the peer XYZ team, so talking to them, member and impressive new products. We're integrating their solutions directly into the wallet, so that's pretty cool for a DeFi on-ramp, off-ramp there. This enhances integration, requires additional development time, now targeting August, so they shifted that back to August there. Also, they obviously got the transfer of the GoPost website, and of course they've got production release scheduled for this week. So no doubt the GoPost site was one of the, pretty much one of the kingpin sites that are being used for information and DeFi on Pulsechain. Obviously, there's quite a bit of controversy around the swap fees and things. But we also have this, no doubt, if they're still getting that good traffic, this could be attracting more search users and stuff like that for the sites. They're going to put the LibertySwap products on there, so that should be quite a good net addition to revenue and fees, etc. Big upgrades ahead for privacy, UX, and systems growth. So that's pretty cool. I'll put the repost on that. We will focus on generating fees from all protocols and products while providing the best possible options experience for users. All fees after costs. That's interesting. So we haven't really seen much them talking about costs. Obviously there's a lot of developers and help desk and things. So all fees after costs will be used to buy back and burn Peacock. Also, what are those costs associated to? They just associated to building, labor, lots of stuff. We don't actually hear them talk much about that. So it was interesting to put that in there. Use the buyback and burn Peacock there. Now, what's missing from this? What is missing? Well, on my list, we had spot and perpetuals. That was the big juggernaut, right? So tokenization, stocks and commodities. So no mention of that, which was it's kind of interesting. They didn't mention that at all. They didn't mention the Peacock buy and burn accelerator. They've obviously mentioned all the DeFi buy and burns, but they haven't mentioned that as well. And so those two are missing. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure. They've obviously moved those down the line from the looks of it. Maybe to August. It's definitely not. Just having a look here, see if they've got any other updates here. So let me just leave a little comment then. Let's do it. So what do we think was missing? We think the spot and perpetual is definitely missing there. Great lineup. Great lineup. When is Perps and what do we say? I've forgotten the other one already. Oh yeah, Peacock special accelerator, burn accelerator. I don't know. I'm just putting my own words here. Burn accelerator. Raider coming to town. To town. I don't know. Oh, to town. All right. So all right, that's very cool. That is where we are right now. So we'll see what they respond to that. Right, so that is pretty cool. On that, so that's their. Oh, did I just lose them? I just accidentally lost them, didn't I? How are we doing for time here? We're up to an hour and 33 minutes. All right, so let me just go back to find them because I didn't mean to actually close that down. A little bit trigger happy there. So let's see where we're at to on LibertySwap. So that was, that's planned for the rest of July. Let's scroll down here a little bit more, and I think we're almost up to date. So we're just going to scroll pretty fast through these other updates. We've got August as well, so that's cool. So this is August. What else there? We got target release for August. So it's August there. So I'm going to repost that too. Bridge routes between Pulsechain and Tron Robinhood. So that's cool. That's more expansion. I love that stuff. And of course, Robinhood there, second layer, and then Tron, its own network, right? So that's kind of interesting. Tron coming into play. So we've got SVM and then Tron. We got Liberty on off ramp. Cool. That's potentially maybe including centralized exchanges and cash apps and things like that. In-wallet swap for ZKX wallet, supporting all chains. That's going to be, I think, a real big earner, that one. It's going to be cool. And then, of course, another new product. So we talk about Perps missing. but also Pump for Fun. Launchpad is in October, and this is a new, right? We only found out about this the last couple of days, and of course, it was teased last year, something like this happening. So Pump for Fun is coming. Launchpad with different token launch modes currently is testing, so very excited about that. That's August. I think that's going to be particularly well. Also going to be very good for Liberty Pools, right? The V3 pulling up the TVL towards that $5 million mark that they're after. Open sourcing all Liberty protocols and wallet products. So this is obviously extremely exciting, so that people will feel that full confidence and can see code and things for themselves. Also, we will do our best to get ZKX Wallet approved on the App Store and Google Store this August. Hopefully everything goes smoothly there. So very cool. Right, so brother, you're on fire today. Says $10. We got to make our product stand out. We're working with industry partners to make things happen, and this is what I really love. There's definitely other teams probably doing this. Like I'm thinking of Brand in particular, maybe a few of the other teams in our blue chip sort of category. And this is really exciting to see that, right? This August will be a turning point with more open Liberty apps becoming available to the broader crypto market. So exciting stuff. Like I say, by August probably could be approximately 10 DeFis in LibertySwap, all sitting along that river of LibertySwap's bridges. And so imagine a big river with all these shoots off the different chains, Tron, SVM, Solana, all the EVM chains, and then Robinhood, all that sort of stuff, all the hot chains right now. And then, of course, also bridged into the key onboarding platforms like Robinhood in the United States, Coinbase, etc. Then all the mobile cash apps and everything else, the DeFi options like Peer. It really is, fiat on ramps. It's pretty cool. So you got all these tentacles going out along this river, and then you've got all these DeFi sitting along those rivers, offering great utility, presumably world-class stuff, and then it's exciting. It's pretty exciting for Pulsechain now. All right, so will there be an ability to use private mode shielding with hardware wallets? Yes, for the treasure and leisure. I've got some comments there. Liberty off-ramp going to be a game changer, says Based. Definitely the market is moving faster. Team needs to catch up and move ahead. Pulsechain must win, Liberty must win. I like that. ZKX wallet on App Store. Yeah, that's, I hope, you're subject to the time frame they have review, but it's going. We can integrate Vouch in our wallet at any time. Dear Vouch, do you have a revenue sharing policy? So there we go. That could be in play as well. So that's, Jix is running Vouch, obviously one of our two big public validators, kind of like Lido or Rocket Pool is the analogy. The other big one being PulseX and ValidateX with their PlusX products. What else there? Honestly, it wasn't for LibertySwap. I think it would have gone up on Pulsechain, says Rob. Thank you for your kind words. Pulsechain is still here because people continue to leave. They do. Babel says, any link for Pump Fund model? I see Fusel model can now be integrated into websites. Fuse is so great. We definitely have this mode in our launchpad. Slowly, users should have the freedom to launch coins in any style that works best for them. Liberty will be locked in Liberty DEX. Protocol fees will be used to buy back and burn Peacock for sure. So people are going to be pretty excited about that Pump Fund. Certainly going to put pressure on Pump Tires and also on Coin Mafia. I think it's going to be hard for them to compete with this product after it launches for Pump Fund. I think there's going to be pretty challenging. It's hard to compete with a massive ecosystem rolling out with the best stuff as well as having all that capital bridge flow. This just the best paradigm, right? So that's what's a LibertySwap there with some of the comments. What else we got here? Peers. So this is this DeFi product, a permissionless and composable on-off ramp protocol, zero friction conversion to Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Revolut, Wise, and many more. So great a fiat on ramp there. No new product looks so great. This will massively change the way we on-off ramp and use stablecoins as well. Now they've also been teasing obviously Liberty Lens coming, possibly an Aave fork, maybe we'll see, and modified, and then also they decentralized a decentralized stablecoin. So I don't know whether they come in with a maker kind of thing or something like that coming up. We'll have a look, but they're definitely going to have it all, guys. I think it's kind of where this is heading, right? They've also talked about them being able to doing new DeFi stuff for probably the next couple of years. I think 1/10 of what they had on the timeline. So yeah, and they're also keeping an eye out on all the latest stuff coming out from teams to try and bring the best of everything, right? So yeah, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So that's some of the peer technology there. I think it's mostly been on base peer. I have had a look at it. It's mostly on base, I think, but that's certainly cool to see that come in the Pulsechain. 10 hours ago, ZK Wallet app is becoming the most convenient way to access Pulsechain with LibertySwap fully integrated. Gas's transaction and full sponsorship by default. With the new peer XYZ integration coming, the fiat flow from Pulsechain will be unstoppable. We like that. There's a little snapshot there. The token selections, pretty cool. Right, what else there? Let's keep going up. Peer, obviously this DeFi on-ramp. Everywhere else, cashing out crypto costs a fee. On Peer, it pays you a premium. Off-rampers sell USDC to their peers at a spread they set. Buyers pay extra for speed and simplicity. Off-rampers keep the extra cash out on peer.xyz. So kind of cool. We might do a video on that coming up. That'd be kind of cool. Is that James Maria? That's James Maria. If you guys not always say James Maria about these projects, that's James Maria there. If you guys are wondering who that is. All right, so that's kind of cool. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're getting there, guys. Getting there. We're going to have a long show today. What else? Let's scroll back up here. Obviously, got Hyperliquid. If you want to go do some bets on output prediction markets for the World Cup, you can go use Hyperliquid. And they've got the France, England, Spain there. So kind of cool. There's plenty of liquidity there too because it's hooked into the old Hyperliquid markets. So that is the play. That is the play on the roadmap there. We'll see what they come back with any of that. I don't know. Let's quickly see whether they've responded to that at all. Yeah, nothing there yet. So we'll come back to that. All right, let's get into the monster thread, shall we? We're up to an hour and 41 minutes. So I guess it gives us a good 18 minutes to get into the monster thread. This is a official publication of the Kryptonite Show. MVS Crypto, you can see here, is the editor-in-chief of the Monster Thread as well as the promotional lead for the Kryptonite Show. So if you're a project team out there, you want to get involved, the Monster Thread is a professional publication. It has been out every week for the last 62 weeks. So consistency, supporting the Pulsechain community is a contribution to the community as well. It is the hottest Pulsechain stories and has been very exciting to do. And as you guys know, as the Kryptonite Show is the largest Pulsechain influencer doing daily shows, it is a great complement to that. So we do publications and the live streams, really trying to have a good time watching Pulsechain go through the bear market and get into the bull market we know is coming down the line. All right, so Pulsechain Weekly Monster Thread, guys, number 2. And this is the headline, Richard's Praise. What does that mean? What does that mean? We're going to talk about that. Philippines meetup. Pulsechain community is global, guys. Pretty awesome. Tablets are going worldwide. Well, there we go. It's even more global now. And, of course, more monster moves. Now, a big shout out to Emmett Farm and True DeFi, 2 of the hottest projects in farming and DeFi offerings in Pulsechain. So if you're after the best DeFi yields, go check out Emmett Farm and True Farm. Big shout out to Kairos, Daniel, and Neil in leading those teams. Pretty exciting stuff. And they are leading, taking a big leadership role in spreading DeFi and doing X spaces on DeFi as well. So they're doing the product and doing a lot of discussions and promotion there. So big shout out to them, Emmett and True Farm there. First story is Richard's praise. Richard says congrats to Kraken, Kraken Exchange there on its legal victory as part of a broader fight against regulatory and institutional pressure. And in doing so, advancing financial freedom, self-custody, open markets, and the right to build without permission. So obviously, Richard Hart with the SEC defeated them outright, and also giving a congrats to Kraken on its victories in the same areas there. So that was cool from Richard. A little post there. So all the references are there. 51,000 views on that. So big shout out to Richard there. It's the only post he's made in the last week, by the way. Tablets go worldwide. Wildest J, she has been working out in California there at what they call the Hive, which is where they do a lot of dispatching there. RS Griffin is the nonprofit running all that stuff, and Wildest J there has been a key leader in the team. So announcing new international Pulsechain promo tablet hubs rolling out in Germany and United Kingdom and Poland. So awesome stuff, going global, right? Going global. They're also trying to get all 50 US states as well as going global. So exciting stuff happening in the old tablets. So far, so you can go check out those links. All the links are there for that. Check it out. Got cool little pictures on the tablets as well. So that is a Wireless J. Go give her a follow and all. Now, Somi asked a question about the tablets, and apparently 350 tablets have so far been shipped out so far. So we're expecting possibly into the millions going into the US and worldwide distribution, and we're getting all these hubs set up so that is made possible. So basically the idea is that at the Hive in California, they do the logistics and distribution, they do a lot of the packaging and labeling, and then they send it out to the different hubs in the United States and around the world, and big boxes of iPads, and then people distribute them from there to people that are going to go hand them around the block or go to the local fair or go to the skate park. And we've seen all sorts of creative things happen with iPads turn up in Italy at a town in the hills somewhere. We've seen them everywhere. So they're going far and wide, the old Pulsechain tablets. Now we've got Somi posting about that. So there we go. We've got a little cool picture of the truck there. Internet money. So this is really major. We've talked a lot about LibertySwap. Internet money, of course, is a juggernaut on Pulsechain. And of course, has been the number one wallet on Pulsechain. They said, his brother KG, the founder, he says, I have completed rebuilding the Internet Money Swap, DApp, and stat sites. Internet Money blast past 123,873 downloads. I mean, that's impressive, right? So awesome stuff. And as I say, they are on 193 countries, 105 countries in the world. They're on all those platforms, on Apple, on Google, and dozens of chains, right? 30, 40 chains. So pretty awesome stuff there from brother KG. And you can see some of the cool enhancements here. That's looking really cool. So obviously it's got the swap that you might want to do, and then it's got all the different dexes and mempools that it can go through, gives you the best rate. Can select that and continue on there. Now, the fees that are earned from that, of course, go to the people holding time token in their wallet, and they can claim those fees, right? Cool. The other thing, of course, the downloads get updated. I think it's every month, is it? Every month. The 8th of July update is 123,000, so increase of 5,333 wallets. Awesome, eh? And that distribution is really powerful. And so you can see how LibertySwap with their wallet's going to get this powerful distribution too. With the benefit of having that there, just it gives it access to all those online platforms, as well as more searchable as well. But also, we've got more wallets coming down the line, right? We've got Ramp now coming down the line with the modified Rabby wallet, and we've got Alex McFurter with his Cabby wallet, modified Rabby wallet as well, coming down the line. And there's another wallet coming down the line as well, which I haven't talked about. We're looking forward to that. It's from a smaller team, but we're going to have a decent amount of wallets that people can choose from. Very cool. But this is the juggernaut on Pulsechain right now. Internet money, but we've got more coming. More big blue chip wallets are coming down the line, so it's going to be plenty of options for people to use, and more adoption. All right, so big shout out there to KG, and of course KG's been doing a lot more. It's been on Change Now documentaries, been on X-based discussions. He's brought in some of the biggest influencers in X have been covering Pulsechain. So big shout out to KG, doing a lot of great stuff. As of course the development team. Bringing us some of the best stuff, and also integrating some of the privacy stuff. It looks like they're going to be doing that from LibertySwap. So very open-minded, very productive. One of our, like I say, probably top two teams on the old Pulsechain in terms of development. Although I think that Brandon's come along pretty quickly with the SwitchX ecosystem, so we could have 3 top-tier blue chip teams there leading the way, along with many others that are supporting that as well coming up. All right, so we got Liberty roadmap. Of course, we just talked about that in July, August. A new updated roadmap will be released early next week. Well, we just covered all that. DeFi on Pulsechain. Of course, I talked about True DeFi, weekly builder spaces. So if you really want to get into the deep dive of DeFi on Pulsechain, definitely go along to this every single week. And they're there. It's been amazing. It's growing all the time. They're getting more people visiting, more people listening, more people sharing. So they're really just that consistency so key. And they're doing a great job there. So True DeFi is leading the way there. True DeFi does these kind of managed funds approach on Pulsechain. The first team to do that, and they do these 2x pulse miners, W pulse miners. They do DeFi projects. They're about to go from True Farm, which they launched on Pulsechain, to OmniChain. So you're going to be launching other chains. I think Base Chain might be the next one, if I remember rightly. So pretty awesome. It's hosted by Neil. who's one of the 2 leaders there in that team, 3 leaders with Daniel and Executioner. Protocols coming, they discussed was Radon. Radon X just launched, so that's kind of cool from Radon X. And then we got RhinoFi, of course, another niche player doing some really great tokenomics. So big shout out to RhinoFi there as well. And of course, special guest Coexistence 7, obviously an influencer in the Pulsechain community, and then Jimmy Y there as well in the house there, co-founder of Australian DeFi. So these two are running DeFi meetups in Australia, I believe. So they were there as well, updating on the Australian DeFi movement. So lots of cool stuff happening in there. If you want to hear from some of the best teams and people doing a lot of community outreach, definitely worth going to that on the X Space, and it's recorded every week, so you can go listen to that as well. So kind of cool. That's from Neil. Hex T-share report. So if you're into Hex, Hex, of course, one of the top 5 coins last bull market season 21 from Richard Hart, 10,000x, 13 parabolic rises. It was a great ride, and Hex T-share report there done by Crispy Man. He's one of the 2 main quants in Pulsechain. The other one being Ben Sierra, and he drops his latest Hex T-share report, saying that T-shares keep disappearing, which is pretty interesting. So obviously T-shares is what you do. You burn your Hex, you get T-shares at a certain share rate. A share rate is only going up all the time. It's kind of one of the innovations there. Originally, primarily probably designed from Kyle, the dev, who worked on that, and with input from Richard and others. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Technology there, kind of unique. And apparently T-shares are disappearing, so that's cool, which means less people are earning Hex, which is I guess good for the inflation side. Now burning Hex, of course, gets Hex off the market. And we have seen some innovations here, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But go check out Crispy Man if you want the deep dive, the analytics with all his. He's got all his detailed charts that he has on him. He's kind of the man. He's got all the share rates and everything else in there. You definitely got to check that out. He does a great job, Crispy Man. There. Now the other one, of course, is Actuator Edition as well. In fact, I'm going to post the link here to the Monster thread as we go here. So if you guys want to. Share it around. It's perfect for sharing around and, of course, catching up on all the action on Pulsechain every week if you're busy. It's perfect for that, right? All right, so that is the link there to the Monster threads. Don't forget to share it around. I mean, if you're looking to grow Pulsechain, this is the newsletter out every single week. So definitely get out there. If you're a team, you want to get yourself some project awareness, then hit up MVS or hit up myself anytime on Discord, Telegram, or on X. There we go. Monster thread number 60. 60. What did I say? 61. That's actually 62. Sorry, my bad. My bad. All right, so that's 62. By the way, we got Actuator. So Actuator is kind of like a bonds for Hex, new product. So it might be driving a lot of these. We've seen quite a few long-term Hex stakes might be driving some of that behavior. And you can go in and use Actuator. So we've got a long-term OG here, Johnny Chaos. He's coming in here and doing a video. Now, we've seen a number of videos from Crispy Man and other people covering Actuator, and he drops a full breakdown explaining Actuator finance to the community there. So, it's been a blob. It's a fantastic product from the looks of it. It's certainly a little bit more complex than some people are used to. So it does take a little bit of education getting around the HTTs, is it? Yeah. But definitely something worth looking at there with the yields, and is slowly growing there. So, adoption's still an issue, but they're doing educational videos trying to get people understanding how you can capture yield from Hex stakes. So you can put Hex stakes and do that. So interesting topic there. Go check it out. And that's from Johnny Chaos, and you can see him in the picture there. And he does a walkthrough right from the beginning to the end there, from Hex, buying Hex, all the way through to the HTT setup for those Hex bonds. So check that out if you like that sort of stuff, and you maybe want to capture some extra yields. Crypto Coffee, Coffee and Strategy. I like that one with the little coffee. I like that. Crypto Coffee showcased Plus X apps, LPX strategies using Hex with Pulse, ETH, and Top Hat. So he's got a couple of videos, I think, on this, is he? Yeah. Just started a new solo LPX using Hex. We'll be comparing versus LibertySwap there. LibertySwap is showing 190%. So just comparing some of the pools there between LPX and Liberty pools on V3. And you can see the links there. So pretty cool stuff there from Coffee. Go check that out. And we've got Super 7 streams. So Crypto 7, arguably the biggest influence in the UK for Pulsechain, does at least 1 or 2 streams a week, I think. And he's hosted the Super Chat Sunday with market updates on X and Pulsechain. So you can go check him out as well. He's got his views on that. So 12 weeks to get rich in Hex and Pulse. So there we go. That's his little video there. You can go check that out on YouTube. Big shout out there. I'll give it a little smile, little heart. All right, so that is from Crypto 7. We've got one link for everything. And this is another area that's sort of growing on Pulsechain is commerce, right? So commerce is really looking good. And this is a really cool technology, I think, this one link. This is from Zero Trust. Zero Trust does a suite of DeFi products. It is part of the Peacock Quadfictor or LibertySwap Quadfictor projects. And they also do a lot of news. So they do a lot of news as well, but it's typically online as opposed to the multi thread, which is dynamic out there every week. So yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. They're doing a lot in the commerce space, kind of a perfect complement for LibertySwap's products. And of course, they've opened up commerce on Pulsechain and beyond with this one link, which I think is pretty good. Coexistent 7 there, another obviously influencer in the Pulsechain community, has shared a cool Zen video on that. So we've got the Zero Trust announcement there. Finished branding, Zero Trust Network, crypto native link in the bio, and store is now one link. Most of the work has been happening under the hood. Now the brand has caught up. It's looking awesome. Let us know what you think. So if you want to get into that, it's pretty cool. So we've got a little video here. I'm going to turn the music off, but just read through this if you want. So one link for everything. It's pretty cool. Your link just became a business, and so one link for a business, I guess you can receive payments back and forward just with this link. So if you are thinking about some sort of commercial thing, this could be the solution for you. Very slick here. We probably end up using it here for the Crypto Night Show for certain things. One page builds everything you build: links, products, courses, drops. We're making it so super easy to go in the comments on Pulsechain and beyond. Get paid in crypto, no email sign up, no middleman. Your keys, your page. Very cool. Built for those who move on chain. So if you're on chain, this is your bio and much more, because not only is it your bio, but you can receive payments and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. One link. So one link for every chain. Claim your name. So many of you may not be aware that commercial stuff is happening on a Pulse chain like this. This is kind of an area that needs to really blow up. But it looks like Zero Trust is taking up the flame for that. So very cool. It might be something that suits you. Obviously, do your own due diligence, not financial advice, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Then I think you go to the webpage, linkme.one, and they've got the website here to set that all up, which is pretty easy, I think. I think you've got a nice little step-through process. So look here, I'm not sure, it's just rendering right now. Let's see if it ticks away. There we go. That's the website there. Multi-chain, zero fiat, Web3. Create, connect, sell, get paid. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Did you guys know that was on Pulsechain? If you didn't, you do now. And they've got an app to launch, right? So you got to launch the app there. Let's see how far this website goes down there. Multi-chain zero. Yeah, I think this is probably really underplayed, and it's probably something I'll do a video on, is their ecosystem, because a lot of people don't realize how much really frontier stuff's happening on Pulsechain, and this is really cool. They got the app to launch, so you can launch the app there as well. Yeah, create your account. So there we go. You can create your account. That's easy. A step up is real easy on that. So check it out. That is in the monster thread. So yeah, Pulsechain doing a lot more. Think about what's happening on Pulsechain. I know the price is down, right? So it's obviously a good entry, but actually, a lot of good technology is being rolled out at the moment and fixing up a lot of the holes that we had, and also bringing us some of the best stuff that's on the DeFi planet in-house as well. So, we're thinking we've got Web3 eco suite rolling out now. We've had wallets. We've got more wallets coming. We got privacy galore has been rolling out coming. We got wallets coming, DeFi, liquid loans, more yield, more stable coins coming. We're getting some of the best technology, prediction output markets. We're going to have perpetuals probably within the next 6 weeks, is my guess, if not earlier. And spots and tokenization and commodities and everything else. You're going to be able to, invest and hold and, quantum computers or, on the video or something. There's so much stuff coming to the chain, and you can see this. Now we've got commerce, really, really slick, clever solutions for commerce as well. Pulsechain's doing a lot, guys. So it's fun to talk about it. Now the price will take care of itself, I'm sure, in due course. But really cool stuff happening now. Nutty updates. We talk a lot about these blue chip projects. That's the way, at least I do. That's the way I frame things because it's kind of a good way of understanding things. But we do have a lot of smaller teams, smaller influencers, community members doing a lot of innovative products and doing really good jobs with them. And so Red Squirrel's out there. He's an OG in the space. He's released new updates to his Squirrel Swap, which he launched recently. And of course, he's given a shout out to Tangent. Of course, Tangent, also another OG TA guy who's now really pushing, a entrepreneurial discovery with AI and AI products resulting from the WIC ecosystem on Pulsechain, which we've talked about, maybe a week ago. So big shout out there, and that's from Red Squirrel. We did quickly cover Red Squirrel's swap back the other day. I'll give a follow back there. And so, yeah, this is pretty cool. So Squirrel Swap, definitely it's just growing from small, but the website, the DEX aggregators are really cool there, and he's actually pioneered a lot of innovation in the DEX aggregator space as well. Kind of cool. So we've got a bit of innovative DEX aggregator and innovative AI with Tangent there ticking away. So is that pretty cool? I think it's pretty cool. So that's from Red Squirrel. We will look to cover some of these small medium teams actually doing really great products. So we're going to expand there. The Kryptonite show at the moment is expanding its research space as well. That's going to be a dramatic expansion coming, and it's in progress. So that should be hopefully in place by next week. So we're doing pretty well at the timeline there. Hello, Superman. Steve Wright's in the house. Hey, big shout out, Steve. Hope you're doing well. Always great to see Steve in the house. Big shout out to you. We got Philippines Pulsechain meetup. So we've got community all around the world. And of course, Mick B, crypto, well-known community person there, doing a lot of work in the Asian community, particularly Philippines. There shares pictures of an epic Pulsechain meetup in the Philippines, and he does amazing. He does live streams as well. We've got a couple of really cool pictures here of people in the Pulsechain community in Thailand here. Very smiley pictures there. Great pictures there in the cafe. Where do we go from here? Pulsechain newbies. Pinoy Polstikins. So it's pretty cool there. So awesome stuff there. Fantastic. Looking good. Looking good. All right. Very nice. Right, so we've got cool stuff happening around the world for the Pulsechain community meetups. We've got Market Update Stream. Saint Wolf, another big Pulsechain influencer out there, dropped a fresh stream called It Is Time, News Market Update, Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, XRP, and Pulsechain. So big shout out to Saint Wolf out there. If you're not following, give him a follow. Doing a great job. UFO, so one of our biggest communities in Pulsechain is PTC, UFO community. It's one of our biggest. And of course has a lot of influencer support all the way, I think, from Ian Heinisch, Moon King, and of course in particular the influencer, which is Prairie Banana. He's kind of the quant of PTC, and they just launched the new UFO token, right? So because the previous one, the text had been moved around by an AI bot or something, so they've relaunched the UFO, and that's really cool. So congratulations to them. And that was from PTC The Greys. Congratulations to the Greys. UFO migration is almost complete. Well, it's complete as far as I know. New token should be in your wallets, and that's the new token contract down the bottom there. So pretty cool. Currently sitting at 4 million market cap, that's it, 600K LP, and that will be contributing to the buy and burn of PTC The Greys again. So pretty good stuff there. I think community was pretty happy about that. So obviously a little bit of questions in there, but that's pretty cool. So that is from PTC The Greys. Big shout out to the community. Everything about Pulsechain. Frank White shared a map with everything you need in the Pulsechain ecosystem: DEXs, aggregators, wallets, bridges, charts, NFTs, prediction markets, on-ramps, and more. Now, the key thing about this story is that it's got a new category, right? So Frank White runs the up-to-date map of Pulsechain ecosystem. It's probably the most comprehensive. You will see maps on a few data sites like maybe Pulsechain Stats, Pulse CoinList, things like that. But this one here is probably the up-to-date, most comprehensive by far, I would say. And let's have a little look at it. They have a new category, which is new projects. So it's at the top left here. And you can see all these new projects in here. I mean, you've got Chevron 8 that's coming up. They're going to be launching soon. I think a new wallet or something like that. So we're going to keep a look out for that. But they've got new projects in the list here as well. Umbra Finance, another DEX aggregator there as well from Giga, a well-known community member of Pulsechain. Sort of a trading specialist guy. And then you've got other projects in here, and your recent DeFi, Pulsechain Machinery with Gears token, Zero Knowledge printed there. We've talked about them quite a bit. Pulsera, Telegram bot, Lasso Finance as well. Doing convert stablecoins on ramp there. So you've got quite a few. Vault 369 coming up that's going to be launching. So some of these projects, like Chevron and Vault there and VersaVault, these are all coming to be launching. So you've got two liquidity forks there, Vault and Versa, and then I think Chevron's a wallet there. So those three are also coming in there. But you can see all the new players hitting the list there. So, Frank White does a great job with keeping us up to date. But this is a pretty comprehensive list of Pulsechain projects. Now, there will be some projects missing, but they're probably most of them inactive or either immutable code just operating. Now, not all of these accounts have X accounts, but most of them have telegrams, but some of them are just immutable code that just sort of run by themselves. But you can see the list is pretty impressive. I think there's about 280 projects on this list, which is pretty awesome, and most of them are a vast majority are active in some form or another. So kind of cool. All right, so big shout out to Frank White there. Awesome. You should save it to your favorites, plsstart.me, and you can always check the contracts, everything as usual. Do your normal due diligence in crypto. All right, so that is kind of cool from Frank White. That was the last story there. And we got some honorable mentions, though. So we got Seek Crypto now. They had a NFT collection. Now, we know really it's not that much of a meme season or NFT season. It's kind of always at the later stages of a bull run, or at least at a mid sort of phase. But we have had a couple of NFTs collections sell out. First one was Kairos from Emmett Farm. They sold out their ZKP NFT collection. That's also benefiting now from a blockchain protocol sort of put in on top of that, which is pretty exciting. And they sold out, how much was it? 1,500? I think it was 1,500 NFTs. You might have to correct me there, but I think it was something like that. And then we now got Simp Apes. So they've just sold out their NFT collection as well. And that was in less than a day. So we're getting a little bit of action here. I guess if you've got the right community, right leadership, you know what they're doing. But we've got, they sold out an NFT collection here. Kind of cool. 369 of those, so a lot smaller collection, but they sold out their mint apes. So there we go. That is ticking away there. So pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. So nice to see a little bit of action in that space. Crypto Coffee says Pulsechain has tons of good RPC nodes. So if you are, obviously there's the main Pulsechain node, but there's lots of other ones in here, right? So a whole fine list of Pulsechain nodes here for RPCs. You can find them here. So much more than other chains. So pretty cool. All right, so that's Crypto Coffee. We got Ask Conrad Zen. Conrad Zen, of course, big Hexagon whale. And of course, he's set up his own coin as well, didn't he? Zen there used to be a big Hex marketer. Showcase Zencore, the 24-hour Pulsechain market analyst. So there we go. He did some comments on that, on the old Conrad Z. I think it's the first time we've ever seen him in the Monster thread. So there we go. So you can go listen to him about his views of the world. So there's Conrad Z. I think he sits on a big yacht and talks about that. So kind of different presentation. Freedom 777 get some good overtime this weekend. He said he's got some good overtime. You already know where it's going to be a nice Pulsechain DCA. So Freedom there DCAing in the Pulsechain. And pretty good zone to be DCAing, I think. So pretty cool. Zerocast has shared the love with the Pulsechain store for the Epic Zero t-shirt. So that's kind of cool. So we'll quick look at that. So this is a young female community person that's rising through the ranks on X. Luxa loves her t-shirt. Thanks you to Pulsechain store for delivering to a community again and again. I think we've got a little video here. I don't know if I've got the audio on, so we'll just play this, but she's talking. So she's been pretty involved. She looks like she's going to be a rising Pulsechain female influencer out there. Kind of cool. So we'll give her a follow back there. So that is from her, Luxa there. All right, so that's kind of cool. What else? We got those are the shout outs, but we also got DeFi of the week. We've got True DeFi roadmap has been released, so that's cool. We're going to check that out in a minute. We've got SwitchX.win, obviously from Brandon. Get the best trades. We've got VersaVault, that's coming up. So that's from Triple Dad, zero interest loans. And then we've got Radon X just launched. They got a 21-day fair auction. I think we're in day 2 or 3 of that. So we check that out as well. Obviously, the Crypto Night Show, daily streams and shout outs on there and community billboard as well. So we're going to go check out some of that. Let's go do it. So kind of cool. We've got that video on the bottom there. Let's go have a look. Page 2. We've got beer selection here. So we've got True DeFi. They've got some pretty good insights here. So obviously they do like managed funds on Pulsechain with the 2x Pulse miners. And I think it was over 1,700 people have got 2x their Pulse so far. I think that's about right. Read these phrases, what comes to mind. So they've got obviously average holding time, failed launches, etc. Every protocol, old and new, completes with the same liquidity. At the same time, holder behavior, a bear market tests you. No doubt it does. Bear market strategy, number one, accumulate more Pulse. And that's what we've kind of been talking about too recently. And of course, True2X was designed to create that demand. So they're sitting in that managed funds to double X your Pulse there. It was designed to satisfy existing demand to accumulate more Pulse without leaving your core assets. Every Pulse deposit gets 2x in Pulse. Jitters accelerate your time to 2x ROI. So you get to fast there with the old Jitters exiting. No token purchase required. Pulse in, Pulse out. You put Pulse in there, and more than 500 Pulse deposited in 500 billion Pulse. So you've got to remember that's half a trillion Pulse there deposited into your platform. High liquidity and TVL, earn external revenue and strategic flywheels is what they focus on with the managed part of the fund. They have a SRE fund that takes 10% of the Pulse that goes in. Strong and bonded community. They are one of the biggest communities now active on Pulsechain, along with the likes of PDI, PDC, and Pulse Bitcoin, those sort of communities. While others compete for the same users, True DeFi is expanding its infrastructure. The upcoming BNB launch. So did I say base? I think earlier. It's actually, I don't know which one I was talking about base, but it's BNB. So they got BNB launch coming up. We'll introduce new users to True DeFi ecosystem and bring additional users and liquidity from BNB to Pulsechain there. So a very omni-chain approach. So that is coming up. So they're very exciting there. You can follow True DeFi on Telegram. They are one of the most active and they're most constructive, I would say, right up there in the top teams that are very constructive. So you go in there, you feel like you've got people that know what they're talking about and not being mean, being positive and constructive. So very, very cool. So go check them out. And they've got this cool piece of artwork out today. Look at that. There we go. The bulls and the bears and some lady there. I don't know, DGN or discipline. I don't know. But anyway, they got some cool animations here. Give that a read. So that is from a True DeFi team, and of course they're running the DeFi on X Spaces on Pulsechain as well. So great team there. The next one, of course, is from Brandon. I have a feeling Brandon's going to be, I don't know, maybe along with LibertySwap leading the tokenization wave on Pulsechain. So we're going to keep a lookout for that. But certainly running the DEXs and V4. He bought V4 technology to Pulsechain with automated liquidity management positions and high yields. It's going to be fun to watch that over the next year or two. Really, it's going to be probably quite a powerhouse, I think, and watching for other projects to be launching out and supported as well. But he was teasing tokenization the other day. That got me excited. Switch DEX aggregator, so simple and easy. Trading on Pulsechain finally feels effortless. Now, if you haven't used SwitchX, it is super smooth, and it's accesses all the LP pools and will save you money and fees as well. It's pretty good. So visually appealing and very easy to use swaps and limit orders. So you also got blue chip limit order solution. Smooth and exactly what we've been asking for. Absolutely. Ultimate aggregator pulling liquidity from everywhere. Trades always go through. So don't think it has any problems with the trades getting stuck. You have access to all your favorite DEXs and PulseX pools as well. So you're getting access to all those A and B. So you don't have to go to the individual ones there. Handles tax tokens as well. Obviously, we have a lot of DeFi tax token ecosystems. Our systems automatically detects and buy and sell taxes. No more manual adjustments there. Fast block speed executions, trades in 11 to 13 seconds on average. Obviously, 10-second block times on the Pulsechain there. Optimized to make things better. And of course, they've got upcoming tokenization support, which I think is going to be exciting. This is the new wave. We've got so many waves of things happening right now. I should do a video on that too. I mean, there's so many videos we could do, but I think that's one of the leading ones. Poised to lead the real-world asset conversation on Pulsechain, the only DEX built to support this feature. Try the upgraded experience now. And of course, it's got the DEX aggregator there, Switch.win, and the V4 DEX there, SwitchX.5, which you can go into do manage yield farming and stuff like that. So, and also become an owner in the platform. Going to be pretty cool. So Brandon and Switch.win looking pretty good there. It's got a little video there. But this is pretty cool. This little graphic here has got the top pools and the yields, and also some of the key features there: non-custodial, transparent, utility driven, not an investment. So some good stuff happening there. So check that out. That is also in the mix. We also got VersaVault. This is a project that's coming. So True DeFi obviously launching on BNB. Switch is already here. Maybe getting tokenization support or something project coming up. We'll see. And then we've got VersaVault as well. Website is live. That is really cool, but the DApp is to launch soon. This is from Triple Dad. And this is going to be one of our, we've got 4 liquidity forks now. There's going to be a very innovative liquidity fork. We've got 2 coming, right? VersaVault and Vault 369, bringing us some really new features and technology. It's going to be really cool. Multi-chain. VersaVault's revolutionary buffer pool is for a stable peg without stress. So they've got this really cool mechanism here for the stablecoin. It's going to be really cool to see that in operation. Buffer pool acts as a dedicated liquidity layer in front of the vaults instantly. So people open up vaults, right, with the issued stablecoins with different tokens. Instant swaps are using protocol reserves like a built-in DEX. Very cool. Protects user vaults using until buffer exhausted. So run much lower collateral ratios as well, so you can obviously get much capital efficiency as you can. Now, these will, like any liquidity fork, be offering 0 interest borrowing, and that's in the VSD. You're going to have VSD as going to be the stable coin. So it'll be our 5th, if it launches before Vault 369, it'll be our 5th liquidity fork with its own special features. Dollar stable and redeemable back collateral. You'll be able to also earn on the protocol. So you'll be able to earn stable from stablecoin, stake the VRS, which will be the other token, dual token system there, and farm rewards. So kind of cool. Result in solvency, build in solvency with redemption and reserves. Be early, so definitely check out VersaVault. That's with Triple Dad, obviously a big personality in the Pulsechain community, and about to launch a very cool project. I mean, look how good this looks. Very cool there. So excited about that. And it's good stuff there. Now there are some little explanation videos as well. This is the 3rd of 4 that are out at the moment, and of course the website is live. So definitely follow on the old X, and definitely get into Telegram group if you want to get talk to Triple Dad himself, who's in there every day. So do that. But gorgeous stuff. I mean, the protocols coming to Pulsechain are just so good. Good looking. You've got to have a good looking chain, right? Good looking chain. All right. So that is from them. Now we've just still got a couple of ones. I think it's down here. We're just quickly going to talk about this one as well. It's just launched. It's in from where do we go? Where do we go? We got that one. That's my one. Yeah. We got 7 there as well. I don't know. Where is it here? Not that one. Oh, no, it's missing on here. I don't know where it is. So we'll go find that. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow from the Monster Thread. So this is where we are. This is where we are right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And don't forget to share that around. That is Monster Thread number 62, not 61. But pretty cool. Hey, we've got infinite screen in the house. So some good news happening on the old Pulsechain, guys. We might quickly do a quick check just through how we're doing for time. 2 hours and 17. What? I was supposed to go for 18 minutes and I'm going for 30 minutes. But hey, look, we're having a good time. And let's quickly look here. We're going to have a quick look at Brandon, see if he's got any particular updates on Switch. 2 hours Switch feature, free widget generator. Yeah. If you've got a website and you want to put the Switch X DEX aggregator widget on your website, that's perfect to do that, right? And get paid, by the way. It's kind of cool. We're probably going to be looking at that on the Crypto Night show coming up. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Also, they've added in Robinhood, so they've expanded to 4 chains now. So they've got Base Chain, Pulsechain, ETH, and Robinhood now. So very cool addition there. Yeah, nice stuff happening in that space. All right, what else have we got going? I think that was kind of here there. I'm not sure about. Let's quickly jump into Triple Dad. You may have a particular update on the. On this project as well. Nope. Let's quickly go to Fast Abdul. And Fast Abdul is bringing us Vault 369. So these are other blue chip protocols, liquidity forks launching on Pulsechain. So here we are. We've got an update 11 minutes ago. What luck is that, guys? The Crypto Night show. Just lucky today. We're getting the latest from Fast Abdul. He hasn't done an update for a while. We knew that the audits have been done for Vault 369. There's a multi-collateral, multi-chain liquidity fork. This will be our 5 or 6. Depending on who gets to market first out of Vault 369 and VersaVaults. But transmission received, apparently. The Vault doors are opening. 0 interest lending, multi-collateral support, earn protocol revenue, buyback and burn, and DAO governance. The countdown has begun. So what do they mean? Welcome to Vault 369. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So that is opening up there. What's that transmission there? I don't know. Where's the... I think they have the website in here, but it's pretty cool. Where's the website on that one? Vault 369. Let's see if there's a countdown on the website. That's basically what I'm trying to say. See a countdown? Maybe there's not. Maybe it's end of the vault. No, there's the end of vault. The countdown on that. That's not open. Let's open the PPI. Vault is in demo, so it's demo at the moment. No countdown on here. Not countdown. All right. So it's countdown's happening, but there's no countdown. So I was looking for the countdown on the live show just now. What else? There we go. Get rid of that. Bam. Exciting. What? I guess exciting times. Exciting times ahead. All right. So we'll put a little smiley face. There we put a little smiley face there. Is that one there? All right. Cool. All right. Bam. All right. Very nice. So that is coming out, guys. So we're looking forward to that. So that is coming very close. So it looks like they're getting launched. Who's going to launch first? Vault 369 or VersaVault? Game's on. Now, those two are very good friends. Those Triple Dad and Fasted also. Excuse me. They're often on shows together as well. All right. We're going to end there, folks. 2 hours and 20 minutes. What is this? This crazy times, guys. Crazy times on the old Pulsechain. We are in discovery for the bottom, but we have all this value projects being added to the chain, fixing up problems that we had, giving us the best of world-class DeFi. So we've got this is it a dichotomy or this tension building, but it's exciting because we're getting Web3, we're getting wallets, we're getting DeFi stablecoins and yield, and we're getting all these lockups. So all these protocols lock up more tokens too. Remember all these protocols that roll out, and then we're getting the prediction output markets, spot perpetual markets, the best dexes, V4 dexes, V3. Getting all this cross chain technology, all these fiat on ramps. It's really an exciting time on Pulsechain. Hopefully, we're doing a good job here in covering all this stuff. But it's pretty cool. AI tools potentially coming down. That's probably the biggest area. There's still a big gap on Pulsechain coming up. We already see some of the other gaps being filled, potentially by LibertySwap and Switch and others. But still got that AI potentiality, that area for boom time. AI trading seems like the most obvious there. We do have a few little smaller teams doing little tools, I think, around there. But certainly that's probably a big area that we're waiting for. PTS doing P-Day is kind of the main player there, but certainly taking a lot longer, as we probably expected it would do. But we'll keep a lookout for that too, because obviously we want the best of everything. No doubt LibertySwap's indicating that they're going to bring us the best of everything over time, but they're one team and they have a roadmap to roll out. So, maybe it's going to inspire some of the other teams to get into these rolling out some of this other tech as well. Also working with foundations to make that happen, which LibertySwap's indicating also. Keep a look out there. Special congratulations to MVS for the monster thread number 62. Working hard out there. Also, a big shout out to all those teams really delivering us some of the best value on Pulsechain, both fixing up gaps that we had, as well as offering new users really easy tools to use. Is pretty awesome, right? Pretty awesome there. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We've got Frank White in the house there from PLS Start, the Pulsechain ecosystem developer. So big shout out there, Frank White. We did go through that today. Awesome stuff happening there, and we'll be covering that more and more. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. What a mega live stream this was. Man, we've got a lot of good stuff happening, and you can see a couple more projects rolling out. The project teams are giving us updates, and it's exciting times. June, July, August going to be significant additions to the Pulsechain, and we'll try and do our best to cover them all. We will be expanding our coverage to a huge upgrade this week. So you should expect a lot of new news and different projects coming up. But exciting times there happening. Now, if you are a team and you want to get yourself with brand awareness happening, hit up MVS or myself. Obviously, the Monster Thread is a professional publication, 62 weeks in the making, 35 to 50,000 viewers a week. And of course gets amplified by a lot of big influencers as well. We appreciate all that they do, and it's exciting times ahead. So bring it on. Pulsechain's downstream from Ethereum as well. Don't forget, we get the big macro play, so we're looking forward to that over the next 2 years. And there will be a bottom. We have been have pretty stable volume, and so I think things are on to the upside for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you again tomorrow. Bye for now.